Live.
Live?
See. Live. We're live. It's alive.
So, it's kind of a... so last week I had that big Band-Aid.
Yeah.
No more Band-Aid.
Oh,
I don't think anything... I don't know. It's kind of a little better. You know
you have... Well, show the camera. It's just
it's kind of just...
semi-healed blister and a semi-healed wart.
Yeah. I wish I could 100% one of them.
I mean, it's nice to give them some air,
It's kind of like skin tone at this
right?
point, though. It's not really red anymore. Like, you can't even really see it on camera.
You can't.
Right?
Let me see. The wart is still bulbous. The blister looks better.
You said the wart is still bulbous?
Bulbous.
That's an insane word.
24-second late F word. Seconds. What's up, y'all? What up, D-Carbs?
Dylan, can you see it?
Can you see the wart? You can still see it.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
It's not like
in
a
the
planet.
light, you can.
Okay, yeah, from that angle you can.
You can.
Yeah, okay, it's like really noticeable. Looks like a second knuckle.
You have 3 knuckles. Why even tell people this is live at 8? No, Madrone, everyone is... You're a subscriber, so you don't have to watch the ad, the pre-roll ad. So we're making you, we're simulating a pre-roll ad for subscribers. That's what we do.
Where we just talk about my wart.
Yeah.
Every week.
Can't see it. I'm on portrait, on mobile, and like Nick. You mean you like Nick, or you are like Nick?
I hope you're not like me.
You also have warts.
Well, don't pluralize it.
Okay, yeah, true. Nightwing, what we got going on? We're just doing the weekly wart check-in.
Eventually there will be nothing to show.
Eventually there will be nothing to show. It looks a lot better.
It does.
I will say it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
And the blister, it has skipped several stages that the wart had to get as good as the blister looked. The blister has skipped.
The blister just kind of looks
stages.
like I burned myself, which is kind of hard.
It does. You don't...
I don't think I have to cover that anymore.
I don't think you do.
I don't think I ever did.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the blister, maybe when it was fresh you needed to cover it, but I would say let it breathe. The wart, you should have just frozen immediately.
I did.
You didn't freeze it immediately.
Right,
Come on.
We're just talking in circles now.
He can make it. He can make it, Nightwing. Yup. I think it's infected, Madrone.
Isn't that what a wart is? Like an infection?
I don't really know
there
what
can't
a
be
wart
an
is.
infected wart. That's what it is.
Madrone said, actually, I'm sure of it. Madrogo, MD, Madrogo. I see. I had a really crazy wart on my foot one time.
Like where you walked?
Yeah, it was on the bottom. It was on the bottom of my foot. One time I was at a barbecue and my foot really hurt. I was a little kid. I was 7 or 8. And my foot really hurt. Then I went inside, took off my socks. I had this big wart on my foot. I didn't know where it came from. So I had to go to the podiatrist all the time. And they would they're scrape it and stuff. And freeze it, whatever. But it stayed there forever.
Because everyone says you go to the doctor and they take it right off.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if they take it right off because the wart was pretty big.
That was
the thing is that it's yeah.
It might have advanced sense.
Exactly. Well, I think it's they don't take it right off. They have to freeze it because the wart is rooted into
there's roots,
right?
You
could
have to cut. You could potentially just dig.
You could
until you got to the roots.
Yes. I don't really know, but I remember one time I was a kid. I've heard the phrase "freeze warts," but don't get it, dude. They literally freeze them. Yeah. No, man, just cut it.
It grows back though.
It grows back, and also you have to cut. You have to it's like cancer. Having a wart is like having cancer.
It's worse, I would argue, because I don't get that sympathy.
Yes, nobody cares.
People
nobody
with
cares.
Cancer, they're the belle of the ball.
They're just freeze it off, freeze it off, freeze it, as if you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Live,
yeah,
Naomi. Yes.
What's up?
So one time I was at the doctor, and the doctor was like, "All right, this has been going on for a few weeks now. I think we're gonna just have to cut it off, the whole foot, as a joke." And then I'm just a little kid, dude.
Yeah,
I just started crying.
Joke.
It wasn't, Mister. What's up, NickyBato? We're talking about doctors traumatizing you over warts. Yeah. It was just so foul. He told me he was gonna cut my foot off.
And you can't even, like, just kidding your way out of that because you've already started breaking down.
Yes.
And kids can't really get it together.
Right.
Do you want to talk about dumbass Jonah Hill?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
I feel like the sugar mommy of this chat.
You are, Naomi. Thank you for the gifted subs. Naomi is the gifted sub sugar mommy. Look at it. She's the leader. You're the leader. You're number one in gifted subs. Let's hear about Jonah Hill.
So Jonah Hill,
Oh, that's why I'm subbed, Mr. Yes, Mr. You're one of the lucky winners from Naomi's gifted subs. You're subbed now. Hell yeah. Thank Naomi. Yes. She's a legend. Madrone says buy him something then. He's already subbed. Buy him another few months. Naomi's on it. We'll see what she comes up with. Okay. The floor is yours.
Some background. I have fucking hated Jonah Hill for about 10 years now. Because something happened in 2013 where Martin Scorsese gave him a role.
Yes.
And now Jonah Hill thinks he's like a serious person.
Yes.
Like, dude, you were like the lead of Superbad and everyone loved you for that.
Yeah.
And now you think you're like Marlon Brando. So he's been insufferable for about 10 years. Every public appearance he's ever done has been like just this like real like joyless tone. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Like, you're not a fucking good actor, first of all. Second of all...
You're not a good actor.
Now, like, his ex-girlfriend, I don't want to say canceling him, because he's not going to get canceled.
Was she, like, in the public eye before they were dating, too, or no?
I don't know. Like, she was, like, a surfer.
Oh, she's not, like,
she's not famous.
She's not an actress famous.
So, like, she posted these... First of all, Jonah Hill has not done a goddamn thing worth anything since 22 Jump Street. All these super serious roles.
She was a surfer.
All these super serious roles that he thinks he's like building a repertoire with. Nobody remembers or gives a fuck about any of them.
Correct.
Except The Wolf of Wall Street, which would have existed just fine without him.
Right.
He didn't elevate that movie. So now loser ass Jonah Hill thinks he's like gets women now, I guess. This is why I've always said fat guys need to be happy with being fat before they lose weight. Because if you're like Jonah Hill and you just lose the weight because you're miserable and angry, you're always just going to be that same insecure little baby in your head. No matter what. Now his hair's like slicked back and his face is like orange. Like he's grotesque. Like real stomach churning shit. I know we shouldn't like make fun of people's appearances, but he's disgusting.
Mr. says that his read was that he realized he hates the limelight.
I don't know. I think he wants to be like in that Leo like ballpark where they just do it for the art. You know what I mean? They don't like all the extra stuff that comes with it.
Definitely.
But it's like your art sucks. You're not making anything good.
Yeah.
And so his girlfriend, who's a surfer, posted all these messages of him just being absolutely insane. They've been broken up for like a year or so now. But he was like, if you're going to be posting bathing suit pics and hanging out with your old friends or like talking to guys while you surf, which that's crazy. It's the ocean. Of course guys are going to be in it.
That's what they mean by fish in the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brandon's in. Oh, shit.
Brandon, what's up? There's so many backwards men defending those texts.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
and I'm gonna
get to
and like, but Jonah Hill said all this stuff in like this really like delicate like therapy speech type of way, where he's like, "It is my boundary that you have no bodily autonomy." Like that's basically what he was saying.
They always say you're saying the Jewish stereotype wasn't game changing, and he worked with Marty.
Dylan, he was not great in Moneyball. Cut that shit out right now.
Nightwing, you want to see a photo, Nightwing? Naomi says he looks like Matthew McConaughey's character in The Beach Bum. Okay, let's pull up Jonah Hill, and then you might be able to read our tabs and see a sneak peek of what's coming later in the episode. Which photo do you want?
This one. Look at this dumbass.
This one?
Look at
Which one?
That one, yeah.
Okay.
That's his old girlfriend. And at the time, it looked cute that they were wearing matching outfits, and then you realize it's probably because he wouldn't let her wear anything else.
Here, we're going to pull it up right away. Here we go. Okay, everybody see that?
He is disgusting.
Nightwing, this is for you, yep. He is disgusting.
I know it's not like woke to like make fun of someone's appearance, but he's fucking gross. I want to punch him in the face. Look at his stupid face.
I have not seen him at all. This is so crazy. This is the first time I've seen this too.
He looks like absolute shit. One of the ugliest humans I've ever seen.
D-Carb says he was great because Paul Podesta is a loser of a character, and Jonah Hill just acted like himself and nailed it. Peter Stormare hockey hair. What? Everybody's just saying, what the heck?
So then, in these texts, he's very delicate where he's saying, like,
Peter Stormare.
You can't wear bathing suits on Instagram.
Oh my goodness, this is...
Yeah, no, that checks out.
Oh my gosh. The John Wiki? Is that what they call the John Wick Wikipedia? The John Wiki? Sorry, don't mean to get sidetracked here.
So the ugly-ass orange-faced Jonah Hill is telling his surfer girlfriend she can't post the Instagram pics in swimsuits, but he's saying it like this is my boundary, which I just don't know if anyone even knows what the word boundary means at this point. Because boundary is about something with you. Yeah, it's not about stuff you let other people do. That's not what a boundary is.
My boundary imposed on you is such that you can't wear what you want.
Yeah, that's not what boundary means. So you say all this stuff, then all these like loser dweebs are like
Devin Booker, Dylan says.
Yeah.
Devin Booker posted a story in support of Jonah Hill, him in a Suns jersey.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh my gosh. Therapy speak has eroded the English language, Dylan said. My boundary is that Nick can't show me his gross wart, Madrone said.
Yeah, like Brandon said, she was not allowed to hang out with her friends from her recent wild days, but he would say, aside from something respectful like a cup of coffee. That is insane. No matter how he words that, even if he says, if it doesn't work for you, then, okay, first of all, then you can leave. You don't need permission to leave someone. That's not something you can give to someone. That's only something you can take away if you're abusive.
Yes.
Like, that's not generous to be like, if this insane, controlling, like, rules don't work for you, you're free to leave. Like, you're not Bowser holding her hostage. Of course she's free to leave.
Yeah.
You fucking... And then,
as if he, until that point, she's not.
Yeah, right?
He holds her.
So then all these men are like, isn't that, like, what we want? Like, communication and boundaries? And I think people really missed the mark on communication, that as long as you communicate honestly, and to his credit, he was honest, but... You have to still interrogate whether that's fucking insane or not.
Right.
Like, you can honestly be out of your fucking mind. Like...
Yes. The honesty is, like... Honesty is so blown out of proportion in like, a good... That it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is, like, the bare minimum you expect from someone in a relationship like this. You hope that someone is being honest when they're communicating.
And there's no world, like, if she was like... Okay, sweetie, you're so right. I'll never post bathing suit pictures ever again. And if they lived happily ever after, that would still be fucking weird.
That would be bad.
You would still be like that poor woman. Like,
yes. Yeah, that's not right.
There's no world where Jonah Hill's moronic boundaries are not, like, grotesque.
Because that is, at that point, okay, Jonah Hill just I don't want to say leveraged his position in the relationship, but it's like he's just being controlling
and I don't get worked up about real world issues at all anymore.
Yeah.
But if we're telling bad bitches they can't post on Instagram, that's when I come back.
That's the line.
That's when I wake up.
That's the line, and we're all with you.
We can't live in that world.
You're ruining everything. Dylan says, point of view, you're looking at me defining my boundaries and controlling your life. Mr. says, if Devin Booker posted in support of me, I would know I had fucked up. Io Edibiri said, if you're a feminist as a man, then lie.
I don't know who that guy is. But
I don't know either. Wait,
he sounds better than Jonah Hill. So.
Is that a philosophizer? This is so crazy. I had no idea any of this was going on, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's just not...
Because it's Jonah Hill.
It's one of those things that's not going to hit the real world. Like, it'll just be something we talk about on social media for a few days.
Yeah.
But...
Dylan said, oh, the girl from The Bear. Like the Black Mirror episode. What was that called? Something Bear?
White Bear.
White Bear.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. She wasn't in Bear. She's an actor, been in a ton of stuff lately. The Bear, Clone High. What are all these things?
You know what's crazy? There was years where
guys.
Jonah Hill was like just like a delicate little baby that everyone like defended if anyone said anything kind of remotely like offensive to him.
Yeah.
And now it's just like we should have bullied him more.
Well, that was the whole thing where weren't people like cool with him like not giving an inch when like late night show hosts would like mess with him about his weight and like just those kinds of things. Like they would say he smelled bad and stuff, and he was like, "That's not cool."
Which, okay, if he was a normal person, I would agree with him. But knowing what we know now, they should have been meaner because obviously being nice to him didn't make him a better person.
Right. The Bear is the cooking show. He used to get real mad if you complimented his weight loss.
Yeah, he's an insecure little weirdo. He hasn't made anything worth a damn in 11 years. He's done all these passion projects nobody saw, nobody's ever going to see. They lost a ton of money. Nobody gives a shit about them. And in his mind, he's like ascending as an artist.
What is this whole... Doesn't he have a movie on Netflix about his whole, like, his therapist or whatever?
Yeah.
Like... Does he think anyone gives?
Which, first of all, is an obscene cross of like professional boundaries.
Yes,
your therapist is not supposed to be your IRL friend.
Right.
That's kind of tells on himself why therapy's not working for him.
Yeah,
because it's just his friend backing up everything he says.
Exactly. It's just Jonah goes to his echo chamber sessions and he's like, "Have you guys tried this? It's not therapy. It's just like having what you feel repeated to you and enforced." Also, doesn't that break patient-doctor confidentiality?
Yeah. He's like, "Do you think it's reasonable if I tell my girlfriend she can't show her ankles in public?" And then the therapist's like, "Yeah, just say it's your boundary."
It's a beautiful spin. He put the mid-90s. It's a damn skate movie with no skate clips. No footy at all, man. It's crazy. Mr. And you guys ever see that video for what's it called? Is it what's the skate company? Is it like Yeah Girl? Is that the name of it? Where Owen Wilson did that video? It's basically Owen Wilson talking to a bunch of pro skaters to like market this one skate company and their apparel and stuff. Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, right. Maybe I was thinking Girl Board. I don't know. There's something like that. Yeah, right, dude. Where he basically Owen Wilson is like talking to all these pro skaters and he's just like inflating the whole conversation with like skater jargon. He's like, "I got so much footy, dude. I got back salad, front salad, this. He's like, "Listen, if somebody asks you for a trick, you got to have a trick, man. I got tons of footy, but it's all been done." So then they're like, show us something. And he goes off to the side, fine. He grabs a board, he steps out of frame, and then they just have like a pro skater, I forget who it is, dress up in Owen Wilson's clothes, come back and do this, grind this rail or something. And they're like, see? He comes back in. He wants to be Tony Soprano, but less cool. Jonah Hill. Dylan said Element was the brand. You were basically there, Mr. and said the company was Girl Skateboards. The video was named Yeah Right. Gotcha. Thank you, Mr.
Dude, has anything aged worse than like Seth Rogen's friend group? Like, we got James Franco, who's been
nuts,
outed like 3 times.
Yes.
Jonah Hill, who's a fucking weird baby, and Nick Kroll, who sucks.
Remember when they did
Aziz Ansari?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So if this is Seth Rogen's company, I mean,
it's all yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Wow. We need to dig into Seth Rogen and his everyman appearance.
You know what it is? They all try to be serious people.
Yes, they want to be taken so seriously.
Did Nick Kroll? No, he just existed as Nick Kroll.
Dylan said Vlad Putin too. Are we just looping him in with these guys because he's a loser? Madrone said, I don't know, but he's still the worst. What Nick said. Yes, Nick Kroll is just Nick Kroll.
Aggressively unfunny.
Yes. Sadly.
He's up there with Rob Riggle. Nick Kroll and Rob Riggle are my fight or flight responses. If they show up in a movie, I'm like, I can't watch this anymore.
They both of the same level as unfunny.
Yes.
You're not saying
right. No, I'm not saying they balance each other out.
They're both terribly
horrible.
Unfunny. I'm trying to think, is there anything funny Nick Kroll did?
No.
I'm trying to, what about Kroll Show? There was nothing on there?
No.
Bobby Bottle Service was like a huge meme for a while.
Okay, Nick Kroll was in...
I'm not saying it.
Anthony's right. He was in Don't Worry, Darling.
Yes, he was. About the incels? I didn't see that. You thought it was good,
I thought it was really good.
Yeah?
People hate on that movie.
I never seen it.
Everyone thinks I'm a contrarian, so I have to like
it. Wait, you're leading into being a contrarian?
No, people are threatened by my genuinity, that they just say that I'm a contrarian.
That they say, so you like
when
that
I actually
movie.
like stuff, yeah.
Yeah. The League if I was 12. Big Mouth if I was 8. Kroll Show if I was 28. Earnestness. Was that just you and the thesaurus, A-Bet? Drogo said, nah. Nick's just a hater contrarian, he said.
Okay, you guys are all Jonah Hill's biggest fans, I guess.
Well, let's talk about Indiana Jones. You love just an unpopular take. And then we'll get into my contrarian take, too, of Taylor Swift.
I want to hear
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, first of all, I said nothing about Indiana Jones other than Kingdom of the Crystal
Skull.
Skull.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's a contrarian take. I'm saying that it's, everybody's going to jump at you when you say that.
That is a good movie.
Yes, people are going to... you don't say it's a good movie. You say it's the best Indiana Jones.
No, I said it's the second best.
What's the best?
Raiders of the Lost Ark is the best.
Okay.
And then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the second best.
Okay.
Because it has Shia LaBeouf. Talk about problematic faves.
I'm sick of Taylor Swift. She's not good at all. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the second best for sure.
Taste.
Brandon. Okay, taste Brandon. Respect. That's the only one Decarbs 33 has seen. You're crazy. You haven't seen the other ones, Dylan. Let's get into Taylor Swift. Who likes Taylor Swift in chat?
I like Taylor Swift.
You like Taylor Swift?
I
think she's terrible.
I
don't want to give an inch.
You don't even want to say
terrible.
A 5, maybe.
No. I think it's bottom of the bottom. Brandon said Last Crusade is boring compared. Shit. Dude. The hottest takes. I love Last Crusade, where Drogo says. Dude, you know what? I'm not super familiar with those movies. For a while, I had only seen Crystal Skull.
I don't like Last Crusade because it's a father-son movie. There's nothing there.
That's true. That's why it probably left no impression on me. I
don't know.
Well, because the first one I saw was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, I've seen the other ones, I think, maybe 2 of them, but then I just can't really remember them. I would just watch them when I was younger. I don't know. Nightwing, don't care for her. Thank you, Nightwing. That old guy's talking all funny and stuff. Brandon goes, Sean Connery? He goes, no.
Wait, I want to say something about Temple of Doom. What's the little kid's name? Short Round? Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Is that Short Round, really?
Yeah.
The guy who's in Everything Everywhere All at Once now.
Yeah.
So he
is, right?
Yeah, so he was a kid in Temple of Doom. Like maybe like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was a grown man. Grown ass man.
Yeah.
That guy has since lived his entire life, is in his 50s, was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Won an Academy
Award, and Harrison Ford is still alive.
This guy, he's lived his whole life.
He's lived his whole life. And Harrison Ford lived the back half of his life, and he's still alive. You know, everyone says life is short. I disagree. If life is short, Harrison Ford would be dead. Let's circle back to Taylor Swift, though.
Taylor Swift... I think she's worse now than ever before. When she went from bland pop, country pop. It's not, because it's country pop, right? It's not like...
Yeah.
It's not country. And now, she's just like a sad girl clone. She's a Phoebe Bridgers wannabe.
No, her most recent album is a pop album.
Okay, well, I'm not listening to it.
The 2 before that were the sad girl ones.
They were.
But do you think she's a clone?
Yes.
Because I think she kind of birthed them.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any connection. I don't. No indie movie once Shy is 70. I'm sure of it. No.
If you go back, Taylor Swift was like 16 doing that weird hick accent. Even though she's from Pennsylvania.
Yes. Well, that... Dylan said, nah, now she's even crazier pop. I haven't listened to the newest album. I'm not gonna.
Thank you. He's right about that.
Okay, but it doesn't matter because everything she does now is so... There's no genuinity behind it.
It's a good word.
Yeah, it's a great word. Just
I don't know. I think she's a good writer. I do.
She's not a good writer.
I can't lie and say she's not a good writer.
I don't sense anything behind any of her lyrics. I think her pen is in the...
Do you think she's an algorithm? Is that what you're saying? She just knows what's gonna hit, does it to a T without very little risks, but it's competently done. And then
well, I don't even want to give her competently. I think she's fooling a lot of people.
Well, I think the production is bad. Like Jack Antonoff is terrible.
I'm not gonna listen to any of her songs. I don't know. I also resent her because you can't see your favorite artist now because of her whole concert thing.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, it's this weird thing because to call her...
She's a sad girl punk.
She is the greatest pop star right now, and I'm not saying that in a quality-wise. I'm saying she is the biggest one.
I think in America, yes, but I don't think anywhere
I don't
else.
think she is genre-wise as good as any of the other pop stars.
No.
She's not as good as Charlie. She's not as good as Carly Rae Jepsen. She's not doing anything these girls are doing. But she's so good at making AI music.
Yeah.
And I do like a lot of them. But I understand.
Brandon says, I don't absolutely love her, but she's undeniably very good at what she does. Dylan says Dr. Seuss was a good writer. Nightwing says, I remember I saw something they said that she was at Michael Jackson level. Insane, Nightwing, insane.
Well, she is, pop, not, okay.
What
as far as being the biggest,
dude?
as far as being the biggest artist in America right now, she is.
I don't know why you have to say that. Say she's Michael Jackson to say that.
No, she's not. Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be said. Talking about Dr. Seuss, we are. We're talking about one of the Who's. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Rena clears. Olivia Rodrigo seems like a better hit maker. Dude,
But do you think Olivia Rodrigo exists without Taylor Swift?
I don't know. I'm not that big a fan of her. I don't want to analyze it too much. Here, I'm gonna pull up. Let's see. Let's pull up some lyrics or something.
Look up the one.
I don't want to look at that one. I want to look at this one.
It's called Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero. That's the cringest song ever. Let's see.
I know. You were making fun of these lyrics last night.
NJ was bigger if you normalized for population growth.
He was also just bigger.
Madrogo.
No, he was also just bigger.
He was also just bigger. Yeah, don't even give him an inch, Madrogo. Yeah. Did you hear my covert narcissism I disguise as altruism like some kind of congressman? Tale as old as time.
Okay.
Dude.
That's not bad.
It is terrible.
Other than the congressman part. The first line is good.
No, it's not. It's terrible, and her delivery is bad. It's so disingenuous.
That's what Jonah Hill does. He disguises his covert narcissism as altruism.
As soon as I heard this song, all right, and this sexy baby stuff, can you just cut it out?
That's a good line.
No, I don't think any of these are good lines. This, to me, is some lyrical miracle stuff. She's trying to, get in Phoebe's, you know what I mean, wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Because
Phoebe doesn't write like that at all.
I know she doesn't, but that's how Taylor thinks. Listen, I'm a keen observer of human nature, and I'm telling you that she is biting Phoebe, dude, with these kinds of songs. And I don't know. I hate the sexy baby.
The sexy baby line's good.
What the fuck is that? It's weird, dude.
She's saying she's at a point now where everyone feels younger and hotter than her, but she's still,
sucks.
Okay.
Thank you, Madrogo. One day I'll watch as you're leaving and life will lose all its speed. She's tried to write... I'm serious. It sounds like a Phoebe knockoff to me. If you hear the song, her delivery is so disingenuous. She's trying to bite. She's tried to be, recognized for writing, and I don't think the writing is that good. Or delivery.
I don't think this album is her best writing. I don't. I think the last one is. The two before this.
The two before this?
Yeah, like Folklore and Evermore, they're like sister albums. So it's weird to say just one.
Okay. I'm not saying I don't get it. I'm saying it sucks. Thank you. She's similar to Drake in this way. But Drake is in a better genre and has better production.
I get the comparison. I think Drake is way less talented.
I disagree.
But Drake literally doesn't even write.
Well, I think
once it came out that Drake doesn't write, it was like the fact that he's still the biggest artist in the world is crazy to me.
Well, I don't think he's the biggest artist.
He's the biggest artist in hip hop.
But okay, but that's what I want to say. I want to like rank these people because we're talking about American artists. Who's bigger, Taylor Swift or Drake?
Taylor Swift.
Okay. And Drake, I feel like the thing about Drake is that I think he sucks as a person, and I think he's so terrible, and I think his style is reflected as is reflective of that.
Yeah.
And Taylor, like you said, I think is just an algorithm, and I'm not saying I respect either, but I think they are similar. I don't think like one is more talented than the other. I think one is I think they're both pretty bad. If he tried writing, it would be just as terrible. Nick, do you like Sheeran? I find Drake mid. He says, yeah. They're in the same group for me. Who, Drake and Ed Sheeran? I think Ed Sheeran is I feel like Ed Sheeran got into the chrysalis and never came out as a butterfly. I think that
Ed Sheeran does numbers though.
I know he does, but I'm saying it's not high level stuff.
Okay, so at the start of his career, you're like, this guy might have it,
I'm saying
and then he just never.
At the start of his career, I'm saying this guy could be Billy Joel.
I think he got worse though. I don't think he stagnated. I think he got actively worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He got into the cocoon and never came out.
Yeah, he came out a dead caterpillar.
Exactly. Yeah, like this guy could have been big. He's playing the instruments. He's singing the songs.
He had some lyrics too.
He had lyrics, but the thing is that his subject matter never evolved or transitioned to anything different at all. And it's one thing to have a wheelhouse, but I feel like it's something you could you should be a little more comfortable writing about something different.
I agree, but I not only don't think I think he got so much worse. I think "Shape of You" is one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
I think he got worse too. And I agree he got worse. I agree both. I'm trying to give him something. What do you mean by not Swift? I feel that way about Swift though. Dylan, sorry.
Dylan was saying he was comparing Ed Sheeran to Swift, not Drake.
Ed Sheeran to Drake. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he's talented, made enough money, and decided not to try anymore. Agreed, Madrone. But and that's what I'm saying is we saw a flash of it when he did that Christmas song with Elton John.
Yeah.
That was really fire, dude. That was fire. It's who is this guy? I know Elton John's Carrie, but Elton John rubs off on people that he works with. That is working with Elton John elevates you. The same thing with his Dua Lipa song. He brought something out of her. And I think that it's not, I'm not saying just that song. I'm saying after she worked with him, I think she held herself to a higher standard.
Do you genuinely believe Taylor Swift is not trying, though? Because her output is insane.
Decided not to try it. That's what happens when most pop stars get huge. You said that about Maroon 5, too. That they're not trying anymore. Good for them, Madrone said. Shape of You is awful, Brandon. Yes, Swift could be talented and still make trash music. True.
Do you think Taylor Swift is not trying? Do you actually think that? Because I think she is. I think she is one of the hardest working musicians we currently have. In that her output is ridiculous. She's on tour. She's re-recording her old albums, and she's still putting out new ones. She is grinding. She's not like Ed Sheeran, who just disappears for years at a time.
I guess, but there's you know what I mean? When you say trying, you could be trying to churn out stuff and have a volume of whatever, but the quality is still not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I find something that I can consistently reproduce and I hammer it home, and there is something to be said about being a genius of effort. I completely agree with that. But it doesn't mean that I'm in love with the product still. I don't think it's a great product.
Okay.
So
what I want to ask you and Dylan is, do you think
she's doing high? I think she thinks she's doing quality though. She's undisputedly doing quantity. Sure, I think it's bad quality. Agree. Okay. What were you gonna say, Nick? Sorry.
Dylan, do you think if she got off Jack Antonoff, if she
super pause,
double pause, triple pause. If she got more experimental with her production, would she be able to put out a quality body of work? Because that to me is where I don't mind. I like her lyrics. I know you say it's lyrical miracle type stuff, but I think it's the production that's holding her back. It is so bland and boring.
I want to say something too. It's not the lyrics themselves. I'm saying to me, I really sense something in her voice where I feel like I don't feel like there's a.
It's not real.
I don't feel it's real. I'm not immersed. I'm not sucked into her. I'm not buying into what she's saying coming out of her mouth.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
But
too.
Dylan said, I think she thinks it's quality production. I think she's just friends with Jack Antonoff.
It's the Jonah Hill echo chamber.
Yeah, I don't think
it is.
Either of them know that it's getting so stale at this point.
Madroga said I could do better, and I do. I just don't let anyone else listen. I think Swift thinks the production is quality. She's not just coasting in her head, and maybe that's true, Dylan. Because in that sense, if that's true, then I would put her on par with Drake, because I think that Drake thinks that he's doing like transcendent stuff too when he's really not. But he's maybe bought into a lie he's telling himself.
Yeah, I would say Drake has. I would assume Drake has a more delusional view of himself.
Sure.
If I had to guess.
Okay.
But Drake's not even a critical darling anymore. Like,
no.
People still really like Taylor Swift's music.
Yeah, I think she had good production. She could be good, but she currently is not. I don't know Drake. I think he's coasting, but I think he's so good he can coast. So you think... I guess when you say someone's mailing it in, is it that they... there's a difference between mailing it in, and there's a difference between putting out your best stuff, and it's just not at the same level.
I think Taylor Swift is not doing low effort stuff. I think she's making
trying her best.
Bad choices with who she's collabing with.
Yes.
And I think this is her trying her best.
This is the best output she could do with... I
don't think it's the best she can do. I'm
saying with the people she surrounded herself with and everything going in,
right.
This is the best.
I think this was probably a very important piece of art for her. Whereas I feel like Drake... it's just like, I'm Drake.
Yes, yeah.
I think her best stuff is Reputation and the two
what are you saying
Sad
is
Girl
about
albums.
Which one? Sorry.
Reputation was 2017, and then Lover I think is trash, and then I like Folklore and I like Evermore.
Okay.
And I think Reputation might have been Jack Antonoff, but that was like, do it once and then get off of it, you know, like...
Yeah. Don't keep repeating it.
But what we were talking about is they don't make pop stars like they used to.
Right.
You remember who... could a pop star today say what Britney Spears did on Toxic? The way she floats on that beat.
No.
Where she says, too high, can't come down. It's in the air and it's all... To be able to do that with your voice is insane. None of them are doing that.
No
one. Taylor Swift's vocal range is not good. She finds a groove and stays in it.
Yeah.
Britney Spears became the beat. It was insane.
Yes. I agree 100%.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about a real artist now.
Let's talk about Britney Spears.
Let's talk about Britney Spears. A true artist who was assaulted
last week. And
insane.
It really pissed me off because this guy in the interview after was like, that person just grabbed me. And it's like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Step on American soil.
Who do you think you are?
You French freak. You come to our land and you refer to Britney Spears, who is might be the greatest angel who's ever walked this earth.
She's an angel.
Would you agree with that? She never done anything wrong.
Never hurt anybody, anything.
Her entire family betrayed her. She just kept moving.
She's such America's princess.
Thank you.
And no one, 90% of the people listening to this, talking about it, whatever, could you even name the guy that hit her? You know what I mean? 90% of the population.
No, he's...
Could you name this freaking loser?
Who does he think he is?
Who does this guy...
And then the police said she hit herself? That's outrageous. We watched the
footage.
Have
video.
We watched the video.
Is everybody comfortable watching the video? We're going to play it. This is the video of Britney.
First of all, she does not approach him maliciously whatsoever.
No. It just looks like two people going the same direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe she... I'm fine with it. Yes. All right, here we go. We're going to play it. Is that the... It's going to replay.
Yeah.
They slow it down. All right, so here's Britney walking. It looks like she reaches out to touch him, or she's reaching out just to say something. Hello?
It's his fucking hand.
This guy, you see right here... Here, this guy right here is lifting his arm up. This is one of his security guards.
Yeah.
Lifting his arm up. Boom. Smacks her right in the face.
That is...
What?
What even is the point of...
And then this guy just pushes her out of the way. Like what? Look at this. This little shove is messed up too. And what is this guy doing over here? I don't know who this is, but... Everyone's just like walking around her?
She's just saying hi. Because she's a Las Vegas resident.
Right. She's just saying hello. Sir, sir. She's just hit in the face. What the hell, dude?
And what is the point of hiring professional security if they're just gonna flail their arms at like any like the point of security is to like analyze the situation, right?
Yeah.
Not just
he's not even
it's a
looking.
5'4" woman. Like,
exactly. You're not identifying any threat at all. It was the director of the Spurs security. Not Wemby's fault, I don't think. Just the team's
No,
people.
it's Wemby's fault.
It's Wemby's fault.
We should
too.
deport him.
He needs to own up to it because there was that video. What did he just said?
He called her that person.
He called her that. He had no like. There was no regard for the angel.
Yeah.
Like show a little respect and I don't know.
Because we are talking about Britney Spears.
I have another celeb assault video you should cover. I'll DM it on Discord. Thank you, Madrone. We'll get to it. Well, I thought the security person said that. No, that was Victor himself said that.
Yeah.
Scoot clears Wemby.
And we were talking about it. There is no one who's ever had the star power of Taylor or of Britney Spears since. Not Taylor Swift. Nobody. Nobody has been covered
Since
the way
Britney
Britney Spears was.
Yes.
The fact that she's even still alive at this point is a miracle because they tried to Princess Diana her.
Yeah.
Like it was insane the way she was covered.
And Brandon has something to say about that, right?
So we got our.
We might have to get our guest.
Britney Spears' biggest fan with us.
We have Britney Spears'
and he
biggest
has a very
fan.
interesting theory.
Yes. Oh my God, he's too young to even know who she is. Kids today, man.
No, he's not too young. He's too ignorant.
He's ignorant. If you're coming here,
in this country,
you should know. You want to work here? You need to know our royalty. Elvis got sent to war. Yes, we're talking about since Britney.
Yeah,
since Britney. All right, we're gonna get on.
Okay.
Should we show this?
No, get Brandon on.
We're gonna get into that after, Madrone. I saw your video. Thank you. We're gonna get into that after.
Let me get my headphones in.
Yeah. You joined the call. I'm gonna call you right now, Brandon.
This is maybe Britney Spears' biggest fan. Bigger than Chris Crocker.
No, maybe. Bigger than Chris Crocker. Okay. I'm gonna call right now. Brandon, are you there?
Hello?
Hello? I got you.
Hey.
Hi.
Am I?
Hi.
Hey, 1 second. Nick's joining real quick. Nick,
okay.
when you join, just mute yourself on the phone so that your mic, you know what I mean? Brandon's going to hear you through this mic.
So mute this?
Yeah, pick it up. No, not pick. I just meant pick up the call, sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Nick's in. Hit that button right there. Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
we're in.
Okay. Brandon, you got me and Nick now?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Brandon? It's news.
Hey, not much. Talking about Britney Spears.
We want to hear her biggest fan. First of all, just tell us how you.
Wait,
felt
make sure.
about it.
Can the chat hear Brandon?
I believe so, but yes. Can we double check? Everybody can hear Brandon? We got him. Okay. Hell yeah.
All right.
Beautiful. Brandon, the floor is yours.
Okay. Where did you want me to begin? Do you want me to just dive into conspiracy theories, or?
We want to know your George Bush theory.
Yes.
The connection between
right.
Britney and George Bush.
Well, yeah. No, it's absolutely the truth, though, that no one was ever covered the way Britney Spears was covered. I mean, it was wild. I mean,
correct.
Just a full production everywhere she went. And I mean, even CNN, Fox News, ABC News, it wasn't just E or TMZ. It was every news
That's
center.
true. It was the fucking
Everything.
news.
It was the news. It's not
Yeah.
TMZ. It's not Perez Hilton. It's Chris
When
Cuomo.
when she had a bad night at the VMAs, the number one story on CNN all day the next day was Britney Spears' weight gain. It was wild.
Oh my god.
And what were these years? This was what, 04 to 07 or something?
04 to 08, yes.
And what else was going on during this time?
The second term of George Bush's presidency.
And what was he up to?
There's a lot of little details that I think it was like no coincidence that she was the most recorded and talked about person in the world, the most photographed, most Googled, most everything. She was Googled more than the president all 4 years of the president.
Oh my god.
The only things that were out Googled was when 9/11 happened. But other than that, Britney Spears was the number one trend. Even when she wasn't charting on radios, they made sure she was the most talked about thing in the media.
Oh my god.
So
and you think George Bush was making that call? He was telling people to cover her to distract from his failure in Iraq.
Well,
Dylan says it was to distract from Bush's good deeds and philanthropy.
In 2007, when Bush's war on terror was taking a really bad spin with the resurgence of the Taliban and Al Qaeda, that is exactly when Britney Spears shaved her head, attacked a paparazzi van with an umbrella, was walking around talking to herself in a British accent. She was the number one story that was covered.
The number one. Wow.
Number one, not the resurgence of the Taliban or Al Qaeda. It was Britney Spears shaved her head.
Do you think they did something to her to drive her crazy, or do you think they intentionally drove her crazy just with constant attention?
Well, I mean, don't get me started on I have I can get really deep on that MK Ultra and all sorts of crazy stuff.
No, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Mr. says, to be fair, who doesn't talk to themselves in a British accent from time to time? We want to hear it, Brandon.
It's clear that just there was a point where Britney Spears stopped being Britney Spears, and there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes hand in hand with MK Ultra. Brainwashing, mind control. There's times where she's been in interviews and they've asked her questions about things that happened 4 years ago. Her most popular songs, her most popular videos. Yeah. She doesn't remember them.
Oh my!
She doesn't remember choreographies. She acts really. It's strange. If you watch anything before 2004, she was on fire.
Yeah.
And there was a fire in her eyes, and she was really she was happy to be performing. And then at some point after 2004, strangely, she started acting really strange and really just dark. Lost. And I truly think something did happen really, really kind of scary behind the scenes. I mean, even to this day, I still think even Free Britney was kind of a show. Because
false flag?
I think so. Because honestly, none of her videos are posted on the day that they're taken. She posts about vacations or things she's doing, but they happen to be taken months beforehand. No one really knows what she does or where she is. That video of her getting smacked was her first public appearance in months. No one has seen her.
When was the last time they saw her before this?
Maybe a couple months ago in a car.
Is she a performer at Vegas?
No, she's not performing. She's not doing anything right now. She just kind of has been keeping to herself, posting on Instagram all the time. Her Instagram stories and her Instagram posts are, I mean, to be honest, really strange sometimes. But a lot of other things were happening with her between 2004 and 2008. That was her full public meltdown. Mm-hmm. There was the 55-hour marriage to her friend Jason Alexander in Las Vegas. That was in 2004.
The guy from
and
Seinfeld?
That happened. Huh? Oh no, not from Seinfeld. That happened a week before Bush's aide Scooter Libby was about to stand trial, but
Holy shit.
instead of that, because he leaked the name of undercover CIA agents or something. But instead of his trial being the number one story, Britney Spears having a 55-hour marriage in Vegas was the number one story. And that list goes on and on. It's kind of wild to connect those dots because you're like, well, it is really strange that that's what everyone was caring about.
Oh my God!
We were.
She's America's scapegoat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even to this day on Reddit and other conspiracy boards that I happen to frequent, every time something is going on with Britney, like the Free Britney movement or her new song or even her getting smacked, there's people that post like, I wonder what they're having us look away from because they still think Britney is, God, in on it. And it's possible. I mean, she still doesn't speak for herself, really. It's strange. I also think maybe she's not well enough, and I know it's not my place to make that call, but watching interviews, especially lately, she I don't know, she trips over her words. She doesn't really understand the questions or the things that are being asked of her. She still seems very out of it. Her Instagram posts, I mean, I've had bouts with bipolar disorder. I know mania when I see it, and sometimes there's a lot of manic energy coming out of there, and I don't think she's in the best of hands. And I mean, even right now, they're saying that she's running out of money because she doesn't understand money or capital. So she's going to have to start working again. But she fired everyone who was looking after her money, so there's no one that can really help her with that.
Yeah,
it's her money.
Yeah. Her boys don't want to say goodbye to her. K-Fed is moving the boys away, and he is not forcing them to say goodbye, and they do not want to, which is really sad.
Scary or sad. She said she stopped believing in God because of K-Fed and her boys not talking to her anymore.
Yeah. Well, because everything she did for them. Like, if you watch any of those videos, anything she was going through, it was all for her boys. And her boys were used as leverage on her all the time. If you don't do this performance, you can't see the boys. If you don't do that particular dance move, you can't see the boys. If you don't do this, you can't see the boys. So everything she did was to be with these boys.
That's the great hypocrisy is these people all say she's too unwell to do anything except perform elaborate choreography and shows all the time. So it's like, what is it? Is she okay or isn't she? Because if you had her best interest in mind, you wouldn't be like, go be my show pony. But then your personal life, you can't do anything.
Her dad always justified that Britney is her happiest when she's working. So he always said it was the best for her to be on tour, be on the road. No one's happy when when they're working.
He did say happiest. What the hell were they doing to her?
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, she's not allowed to know things. Like, she's not allowed to, up until last year, she wasn't even allowed to have a phone. She doesn't know current events. She doesn't know news. She doesn't know what's going on in the world. She wasn't allowed to.
She was really
unless she just saw a really tall guy and she's like, I want to say hi to him.
Hello up there. She's just gonna ask how's the weather up there.
Well, the common theory online is that her boys were a fan of his, and she was trying to get an autograph or get him to reach out to them. She was trying to do something for her boys. According to what people are saying.
She approached him very, don't want to disturb you. She said, sir.
Yeah. And that just, I mean, the fact that that's probably true hurts even more. Like, she was just trying to go out of her way. And then it broke my heart, the pictures of her sitting in the restaurant after. She wouldn't even take her sunglasses off because she was just stunned sitting there. But yeah, I mean, to this day, I still feel for her. I still think she's America's princess.
Hell yeah. She is. I agree with my whole heart.
Another thing, they started running when Dick Cheney shot a man during the hunting trip,
Yes.
they started running stories about what a terrible mother Britney was. Those were that was the biggest tabloid event of the week. Britney Spears' mothering skills.
This is George Bush's worst crime. If you if you ask me if I could get the Twin Towers back or 10 more years of Britney's prime, I'm taking the latter every time. That was worse.
You wrecked all of them.
We all second the motion.
I said, if they never lobotomized Britney Spears, Taylor Swift would have been my waitress at Applebee's.
Yep.
There would have been no hole for her to plug.
She's bringing my DoorDash tonight.
That's another common one is that she was lobotomized chemically. A lot of people believe that, which would explain why she doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, and what's with loser-ass Jamie Lynn Spears doing Zoe 102?
What is up with
Who cares about you?
Yeah. Like, first of all, that's the problematic thing surrounding that show. I don't think anyone should have ever revisited that at all.
Was that another Dan Schneider special?
That was Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
That was a Dan Schneider show. Another common conspiracy theory is that Jamie Lynn's father, the father of Jamie Lynn's baby, was Dan Schneider. That's a huge Reddit conspiracy theory.
Holy.
Because, I mean, there is some way to support that. I don't remember all of it. It was pretty compelling. I suggest going onto Reddit and looking up Jamie Lynn and Dan Schneider.
Without Britney, Jamie Lynn would be going for her forklift certification right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Britney I mean, paid all the bills in that family.
Yes.
If you look at the credits for Zoe 101, Britney helped produce it. She helped write and produce the theme song.
She's also Britney Spears. Like, Jamie Lynn Spears, no one would give a fuck about.
Right.
Yeah.
They had to add seasoning to her name. She's not Jamie Spears, she's Jamie Lynn. And I just want to say that there are other warriors besides Brandon doing God's work. Because this loser, Victor Wembanyama, sucks at basketball. And they're posting videos of his lowlights. Victor Wembanyama. Hello, chatters. Hello, Mokaba. Right on time.
Now
we're right on time for the Britney Spears deep dive. America's sweetheart. We got Brandon on the line.
And I was listening to her hits. Pop is so homogenized now. Mm-hmm. You heard a Britney Spears song, you knew it was Britney Spears. It was insane. Her voice was so distinct. I mean, you're talking Lucky. Mm-hmm. You're talking Stronger. Oops, I Did It Again. Every Time.
Production,
Baby One More Time. Who else has that catalog? We might never see anything like it again.
Right.
And what was going on with Gen X or Boomers, everyone before us, who just saw a woman having a mental breakdown publicly and just thought it was so funny? Like, what did they never learn empathy?
She was a bit on Family Guy.
Yeah, like, did no one before us have any empathy whatsoever for anyone? Like, I think about that. I thought it was weird as I watched it happen, and I was a kid.
I know.
And then these grown adults, like, this was their just constant entertainment. Like, that was water cooler talk.
When you saw it happen as a kid, weren't you like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
I didn't find it entertaining.
What's wrong with Britney? It was like, yeah, exactly. The making light is crazy. Just
I wasn't like, this is so good, we have to gobble this up. I was like 10. Like,
yeah.
Like, Us Weekly and all those magazines, they were putting pictures of Britney sobbing, holding her baby, surrounded by paparazzis as the cover. So, like, even just her leaving her house, and she's on every cover of every magazine crying with her kids, and she can't escape it. It's so poisonous.
Paparazzi are lower than dirt.
Right. I mean, thank God there's new laws in place. They're really not supposed to be photographing the children anymore. Which should have never happened, but they put certain things in place. But still, I mean, her every single one of her private moments was just destroyed. And a lot of people say that, I mean, obviously it makes sense now, but her management team, even when she was really at her worst, like outside her house crying on the stoop or whatever, her management team would call the paparazzi and tell them Britney Spears is outside crying, and these pictures are going to go for $1,000 a pop. You should come get them.
Wow.
So
we should do that to Jonah Hill. Break him.
We should break him.
No
one would pay $1,000 for a picture of Jonah Hill. Hey, everybody.
Jonah Hill's crying because his girlfriend got a bathing suit.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good photo if you're in a group chat or several. You guys could have a quick laugh. There's only ever been one assault of Britney Spears that we're okay with, and he also didn't touch her. I don't know if you can see the stream still, Brandon, but
this was 2003, right?
Yes.
Look
correct.
at how, like, she's such a star right here.
Yeah.
And then they broke her in like 2 years.
Bro, I did not even realize that was her. What do you mean?
yeah.
Wait, you meant Mr. Rune, do you mean when you saw the movie or when this GIF flashed just came up? Have you seen Goldmember? I haven't seen that movie since like 06.
Yeah, but in the movie he says it's Britney Spears.
In the movie he goes, "Oh my God, it's Britney Spears." And then at the end, after this, he goes, "Oops, I did it again, baby." I thought Mike Myers was playing her at Decarb set.
I mean, that just shows what I mean. That proves she's like a pop culture staple.
She's an icon.
Yeah,
an icon.
I mean, she
now I know
Gaga.
she's got an incredible discography. Baby One More Time and Oops, I Did It Again. The vocal production. Max Martin is a genius. But if you go online, like on YouTube or I'm trying to maybe SoundCloud, there is so many unreleased stuff, things that she's written, things that aren't edited, things that she was trying to put out. Because there were several albums that she worked on that her management team scrapped and made her do something else. So if you go online, some of her other music tells much deeper stories than the pop stuff that she was putting out. And a lot of people say she can't sing, and she can actually sing very well.
Who says that? Look, you have to have brain damage to say that.
Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah.
Where does that even come from? That's such a left field.
That she can't sing? Oh, I mean, that goes back a while. Especially when they used to pit female artists against each other. They used to make fun of her voice the most.
Yeah, make fun of Rihanna's voice.
Yeah. Dude, she put Christina Aguilera in as The Voice host. Or whatever she does there. Who cares? You know? Britney! Mr. We're not set. It's totally fine. I was 10, okay? Nothing wrong with that. I feel. You know what's crazy is my dad brought me to see this movie in theaters when it came out.
He was a good dad.
He was a good What do you give him? You bump him up to a 2 out of 10?
But there's one thing I'm really worried about, though, in the future with Britney is there's times where she hasn't wanted to put out an album, so they have used... I don't know if you've heard anything about a singer named Maya Marie, but her album Britney Jean with songs like Work Bitch and Passenger, and she has... That album came out in 2013 when she did not want to make music. So if you listen to that album, you can tell there are certain chunks of 99% of the songs that are not her even singing the lead vocal. And what worries me is with how good AI is, if she doesn't want to make music anymore, what are the chances that the record label is not going to care and just use AI? And that really kind of sucks, because I would like to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, that song "Work Bitch," there's like no lyrics.
Yeah,
They're
and that's not even her voice in the lead vocal.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, a lot of that is Maya Marie. If you look up Maya Marie and Britney Jean, the album, a lot of that is someone else that they've either blended Britney's voice into or replaced with altogether, because Britney didn't want to.
She does.
Britney didn't want to make that album. She did do Scream and Shout, yes.
But it's just her.
That Scream and Shout is her vocal. There is no one else. It's just her. But the Britney Jean album, let me pull up the track list because almost every song on there, she's not the lead vocal. But it's because she didn't. What it is, will.i.am. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
will.i.am executive produced that album, and Britney was not feeling the music, but the management team decided to go with him anyway. So when she stopped caring, they started bringing in another artist that sounds like Britney to sing over it.
It's pretty hard to feel a will.i.am beat. He's not great.
The only song, there's 2 songs that she has the lead vocal on her album, and it's Perfume and Alien. Everything else is mostly other vocals.
What's the album, Brandon?
It's her album, right, but she's not the lead vocalist?
Correct. The album's called
That's
Britney
insane.
Jean. It's called Britney Jean. It was supposed to be her most personal album ever. That's how it was marketed. But she blatantly did not want to do it.
That's funny, dude. I'm going to show it. I wrote Britney Jean. I put Gene, Brandon, as like... should we just go to Wiki?
Yeah.
Let's see. So, Brandon, what were the 2 songs? Also, Mr. said, my dad showed us these movies with his finger on the mute button the whole time, and Blazing Saddles, too. Dylan, worst Black IP. Worst. No question.
So the songs that she's definitely singing are Alien and Perfume.
Alien.
Everything else is very, very, very questionable. Tick, Tick, Boom is not her at all. Body Ache is not her at all.
Wow.
Chilling With You is not her at all. And it features her sister, Jamie Lynn. But Jamie Lynn and Britney were never in the studio together. will.i.am just wanted a family connection since they were advertising this as a personal album. Even though Britney never even sang a single lyric for Chilling With You.
Can Jamie Lynn sing? Like, where did that come from?
She sounds awful.
She's awful. She's not talented at anything.
Jamie just did.
Except having jowls.
Oh my God, for real though. Those are crazy. Her face, man.
Time was not kind to her.
No.
I don't even...
Karma smacked her around.
Look up what she looks like. It's Zoe 102.
Zoe 102.
This is the female body shaming portion of the show.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you wanted to see.
No, I know
Let's go
what
back.
everyone's thinking. I just don't want to say it.
Oh my. So, Jamie Lynn was just all on board with this, abuse of her sister.
Yeah.
Just like, more.
She's like, I'll be on a song on her album that she doesn't even want to be on.
She was getting checks from it.
And yeah. The thing about 2013, that was also the time where she was engaged to her conservator, Jason Trawick. So her fiance at the time was also her money manager and had to give her permission to even make phone calls, which is...
Is that girl you said credited on the album?
I don't see her name at all. What's her name, Brandon?
Maya Marie. She might not be credited. She might be credited under writer.
She was on it, yeah.
Oops, sorry.
But
how do you spell her name? M-A...
M-Y-A-H-M-A-R-I-E. There was even a time where Maya Marie's father started speaking out and saying that his daughter is not getting the credit she deserves for singing Britney Spears songs.
It's on in the controversy section.
Yeah. It says claims were made that Maya Marie, a backing vocalist present on Spears' album Circus and Femme Fatale, sang lead vocals on a large portion of this song as well as other songs on the album. Specifically the track Passenger.
Yeah, Passenger is not Britney at all. There is a version on YouTube. If you look up Passenger acoustic or a cappella version, that is Britney. And that's the one take she took. And she didn't even finish recording it. The one on the album is not Britney at all. That's Maya.
Wow.
How was this?
The song "Body Ache" is 100% Maya. It's crazy. I mean, but that's the thing. She didn't want to do that album. But she never really has a say half the time, or most all the time. And even then, when she took a stand and left the studio, they just brought in another girl and said, "We're going to finish your album anyway."
Oh my god.
And will.i.am went along with that.
If you guys fund us, we'll go to Vegas and save her.
We're gonna go to Vegas and save Britney.
That's what I want to do. I just want to knock on her door, like, "Are you okay?" Like, for real.
Dude, well, we might be going to Evo
It's
this
over.
year.
She's like, it reminds me of, remember that Kennedy wife who they lobotomized and then just left her in secret, like didn't bring her out to the public? You know what I'm talking about. When
no,
the
her
Kennedys...
husband got lobotomized in the car.
No.
Sorry. Yes, Nick, go on. John F. Dan beat me. Sorry, Dill, I got it.
The thing is, though, during her worst times, Britney did think she was going to die, and she did think someone was going to end up killing her. And that's crazy because a lot of these celebrities that go through these personal troubles and public meltdowns, they too have thoughts that someone is after them, and I don't think it's paranoia. I think there's a club of A-listers that if you don't go along with what you're told to do, they make your life worse, and I think they did that to her.
Yeah, they sent Victor Wembanyama to kill her.
Is that the plot to like Josie and the Pussycats movie? You ever see that?
It's similar.
It's like
Josie and the Pussycats is a wild movie.
It is a wild movie. Is it like the whole thing is that like when artists are like reach the end of their peak or they stop performing, then the record label organizes their untimely death to like do a greatest hits album, and that's like what happened. So it's like happened to they have like this fake boy band DeJourn or something, and it's gonna happen to the Pussycats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
not that crazy.
think
it's not crazy.
I don't think that's that crazy. And we do. I mean, it's gotten better over the years, but there was always. I don't know if you ever saw the South Park episode about Britney Spears, where they make mention of the fact that Britney was in the episode. Britney is a sacrifice, and every generation we pick one girl to tear down and sacrifice to.
I remember South Park treated her better than anyone else.
Yes, they made the point that what everyone was doing was absolutely bonkers, and you're ruining this girl's life. That was South Park.
That was South Park.
Family Guy showed her denting her baby's head and using it as an ashtray.
Yes, just such a gross depiction. What the?
How do you let South Park get the moral high ground on it?
Yeah, South Park almost never has the moral high ground. But at the time, Miley Cyrus was becoming big, and at the end of that episode, they alluded that the next sacrifice was going to be Miley. But she seems to be doing fine.
No, that's when we knew Pop was dead. When they replaced Britney with Miley. Yeah. What a downgrade.
Yeah. And like you said, how everything's been getting homogenized. Blazing Aura rating with 7 viewers. Oh, okay. Welcome. Hell yeah. Mr. Root says rare libertarian W. Let's hustle. Sorry, Brandon. Interrupt. Blazing. Welcome, legend. Thank you for bringing over Blazing community. Welcome. Thank you so much, Gobi, for coming through. We're in the middle of we're doing the Britney Spears deep dive here. Hell yeah. I was gonna say when you were talking about the homogenization of pop, everyone's voices started getting breathier. If that's well,
right. Explain what you mean, because I think when I was listening to Britney's hits the other night, she enunciates so much better than these new girls.
Yeah,
they are very. You're right, breathy.
breathy. It's not.
They don't say the full word.
They're exhale. Yeah. They're just exhaling. They're not saying anything behind it. It's just their hot air.
If you look at Britney's Wikipedia page, it doesn't say she's like a singer, or it says she's like a vocal artist. And a lot of the other ones, they call them singers or whatever. But Britney is a vocal artist. Every song she does, she picks an accent, she picks a tone, she enunciates everything exactly, like with the right attitude, the right emotion. She has a really strong understanding for what she's singing and doing. Crazy. Every song, especially those first few albums, there's such a snap to her voice. Like it's really it's pleasing and it's nostalgic, that voice. But that's the
she
thing
harmonized herself. You don't get that with Miley Cyrus.
No.
Where she goes over the track again. It's so
they fade into their backing tracks these days. They become part of the production. They're not on the foreground. They're not singing with any kind of feeling. They're getting the words off the page into the studio, and then the studio does the work. And that's what's going to happen soon with AI. These artists are just going to have to give a voice sample, and then they won't have to do anything else. The studio can do it all from there. If you look, even right now on YouTube, if you say Britney Spears, what were you saying?
I was saying these other artists, they fall behind the beat. Britney is the beat.
Yeah. Britney is the main. Britney's the melody. Britney's the beat. Britney is she is the foreground, and especially like on Circus and on the Oops, I Did It Again album, she does all her backing vocals too, and she knows how to harmonize with herself. And I mean, there's some genius. Oops, I Did It Again is pure pop, but it is good pop.
It's great.
It's one of the greatest songs ever. What's with her freakish family? They're all named Jamie.
Well, her parents are Jamie and Lynn, so they named...
Her daughter is Jamie Lynn. Yeah. Without the E. They left off the E on the daughter. Yeah. Madrone said, if any Blaze viewers need to catch up, I assume this clip is me saying the Jackie Kennedy joke. And it's like, when you say Britney becomes one with the beat, it's something more than that, too. You know what I mean? Because there's a thing when there's like this tag team moment in the music where it's like it's two as one. Yes. But this is like one as two.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is like, it's so fantastic. I don't really...
Yes. I can't remember the last hook in Baby One More Time. I think it's at the 3:05 mark. She comes in to harmonize the normal hook, and she just fucking smacks it out of the park. Yeah. Brandon, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Yeah, can you
sing it? You want me to sing it?
Yes.
The harmony, or we could pull it up. I know the exact mark.
Pull it up.
Well, we can't pull it up because of copyright.
Oh, fuck.
Sadly. I wish we could. So, Brandon, we need you to sing it.
All right, let me think of where you are in the song.
Here we go. All right, while you're thinking and prep it, we're gonna catch up on chat. Dylan says, "Have a kid and name it NickyBato."
Yeah.
Or simple. We were already doing that. Madrone adds, "There's also a thing where a lot of newer pop songs are produced by a group of 10 or more producers, so everything gets super homogenized because their beats have to sound good to every producer, and anything unique gets filtered out."
Ooh,
that's a really good point. That's a really good point. About that. Yeah.
There's no
and everything has to link with everything else too.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the I must confess?
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right.
She eats that shit up.
Yeah. That part. I mean that whole bridge, the slow. Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? And then the, oh, baby, baby, I shouldn't have let you go. That part is so good.
Yeah. Floated, Brandon. Oh, my God. Brandon, you should be worried about AI. They're going to brainwash you to replace Britney Spears if you're not careful.
Oh, God.
No, her vocal control is crazy. Showing up at your apartment tonight.
The amount of notes she can hit in a single run is just like that go, like it's like so many notes and like one little, and like that's I can't even. That was before auto-tune. Like she's just doing that. And like today everything's breathy, everything's produced.
Yeah.
Her album Glory has some really good songs, but she wanted to sound like Selena Gomez. So some of the songs are super breathy and super Selena Gomez-esque. And
that's
it's not
how you
as
know
good.
She lost her mind. Yeah. She wanted to sound like Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
the most unremarkable pop star of our lifetime.
The Glory album kind of came from that "Hands to Myself" song. Like that was the beats she liked. Yeah. So she went from there. Her best album is "In the Zone." She wrote everything on that album. She had some co-writers, but that was her baby.
Yeah.
She wrote the album.
Bieber song was decent, right? The breakup. When they broke up, Selena.
Oh, you're talking about Selena Gomez?
Yes, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Britney Spears and Justin Bieber.
When Britney Spears and Justin Bieber broke up, I think he had just
Justin Timberlake.
Baby. This is what we were saying the other night.
Yeah.
These new artists, they don't have that white trash greatness, you know?
Oh,
like Miley and Taylor,
where
their whole lives have been silk sheets. Yeah.
Britney came from Mississippi. Britney's a real girl.
She was probably throwing cream cheese on saltines. Like, she has...
She likes
that
gutter
mentality.
She was throwing cream cheese on saltines.
She likes Velveeta and grits. That's her favorite snack. And that's not even a joke.
Taste. Gutter mentality. Would you say she was in the zone when she made "In the Zone"? Till said
she was in the zone.
In the zone.
And I mean, you can't even pull up those performances, can you? That sucks.
I'm sorry.
Because I mean, that was peak Britney, and "In the Zone" came out in 2003. While she was on that tour into 2004 is when everything kind of just went off the rails. That's when she had the quick marriage, and then she met K-Fed, and then she got pregnant. Also, that was when she got injured, and she had really damaged her knee.
I remember that now that you say it. I totally forgot about that.
Another conspiracy theory is that she had already injured her knee, and she just wanted time off from the tour. Because she was already seeing K-Fed at the time, and she was over the tour, and she wanted to get surgery on her knee anyway. So her knee injury was very public, is the thing. It happened during a music video shoot out in front of everybody. There's tons of angles of her supposedly falling, but it didn't even look like much of a fall. Everything about her is a conspiracy, which is another one of the reasons I love her. She's a mystery. That's why Simon Cowell brought her to judge the X Factor, but he said that she was too medicated and he didn't really get to see the mystery of Britney Spears, that she was just kind of out of it.
Where did Simon Cowell get his fucking money from? Just being Simon Cowell.
How did he get picked for American Idol?
Yeah.
Like what? How did he make that quantum
leap? Was he
leap?
already a guy?
Was he just a guy that listened to music?
It's crazy that
well.
in 2003 though, Britney Spears,
well.
she was still dancing like the rent was due. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying with this white trash gene of greatness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I was Googling.
In 2003, she did something called "In the Zone" and "Out All Night," where she went to every gay bar in like Las Vegas and just performed every song from her album all night long. And like nobody does that kind of groundwork anymore. She used to go like club to club, bar to bar. She used to just go and promote her music and just dance everywhere she could. She
laid the gay blueprint too. Because she was the first one who's like, I'm going to embrace my gay fans. These new pop stars just pretend to like gay people.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Britney was like in the trenches with them.
If you look at a lot of her pictures between 2006 and 2008, when she was like really partying, she was only hanging out with the gays. She loved the gays. And it wasn't even for publicity. She just like thought she just had a great time and she wasn't judging anybody.
It was so genuine.
and she knew that her music resonated with a lot of people in the LGBT community, and she really appreciated it. And again, a lot of these new artists, I mean, especially even the straight male ones, they love to gay bait. They love it.
There is
they
no
they
way.
just want the gays on their side because
I
we.
refuse to believe Taylor Swift isn't homophobic.
There's no way she's not a little homophobic.
Agreed. Mr. says no hate, but I feel like Dolly Parton was that blueprint.
Yeah, that's true. And Cyndi Lauper.
Now you come out with the SpongeBob list of Madonna.
Madonna, yeah. No, I disagree on Madonna.
Okay.
No, Madonna and Britney are two very different creatures. They're not
I think
the same.
Madonna was very fake transcendent. She
Yeah,
didn't move me
Madonna.
as much as Britney.
Mm-hmm.
Britney wasn't trying to play any kind of pretentious nonsense like Madonna. Britney was just trying to put on something really entertaining.
Sure.
Madonna always acted like she was saying something when she wasn't saying anything, which
Oh,
Dude.
Cook.
The cooking.
which is
That's
how
so
I feel
funny.
about certain Lady Gaga music videos where I'm like, I know you
Yes.
think you're saying something here, but I don't.
You're talking.
I
But
don't
are you
think
really
you
saying
are.
something? You're
What?
singing, but are you really saying something? Dylan said Charlie was. Charlie was what? A blueprint? Or Charlie was like, sorry, Dill. Catching up. Wow. This is just like so heavy.
It's devastating.
It's devastating.
Because it feels like, even though she's still alive, she's dead. You know? We'll never have her again.
Yeah. No, that's the truth. I mean, I love to listen to her music. I mean, even to this day, and I still watch performances. Even the ones where I know she probably didn't even want to be there, just because she was still in it. There's even doubt she would ever even want to still perform again.
Yeah.
Like she's pretty burnt out. She's pretty over it. That song she did with Elton John, she didn't even do a video. She didn't promote it. She just recorded it from her house and sent it to Elton to edit it together. So like she's not really in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she will be ever again or for a really long time. And the Britney, I mean, honestly, if you look, she has so much confidence and attitude. If you look at all of her old late night show interviews, and now because of how staged her life is, she can't do anything off the hook or impromptu. So like a late night show where they're going to ask you any kind of questions, she can't do it. She could never do Watch What Happens Live or anything like that because she would not be able to handle it or even compose full sentences, because every time I've seen her try to do anything off the cuff, she really freezes. And I think it's just because her confidence is gone. I think the people around her told her she wasn't good enough just one too many times. And she just doesn't do it anymore.
Just sabotage.
And it sucks because the Britney I used to watch, and she had such a fire. She had such a life about her. And she was so quick. And it's just really sad to just see almost nothing going on in her face when she does anything these days. And I still worry that even the guy that she's with is in on it. I mean, there's no way she cleared out all the poison from her life. Because she met him at a music video that she didn't cast.
Yeah.
Like, it was someone that was brought in. So, like, what does she know about him? I don't know. I'm not her father, but I worry about her.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely.
You're not
And
her
that's like-
father, Jamie, and you're not her sister, Jamie.
You're just Brandon Lynn.
This
That
quote
girl-
is a wiki page.
This is the quote, Brandon, that you were alluding to. She says, I don't believe in God anymore because of the way my children and my family have treated me. There's nothing to believe in anymore. I'm an atheist, y'all.
Yeah.
That's
and that's
wild.
the
That was
girl-
last year.
And that's the girl, I mean, every single speech, she thanked God. She always thanked God. She She had a very like distinct relationship with God, and it wasn't like any kind of super religious thing, but she genuinely believed she was blessed, and I don't think she believes that anymore.
What's her fucking? Why is Kevin Federline even doing interviews?
Yeah.
Fuck cares about that guy.
Name association. It's all about trying to get as much money out of the Britney name you can get. It's what it's been about for years now. It's absolutely wild that they poisoned her kids so much that they wouldn't say goodbye, though.
Loser.
I don't even...
How disgusting, dude.
And they used to... I mean, you've seen it. They used to post videos of her anytime she was yelling at them or doing mom things just to humiliate her. And Kevin would promote that, make sure they did it.
I'll put it out right here to the public. Me and Sabata will fight both her sons.
That's the boxing.
Set it up.
Set it up. K-Fed, set it up.
We'll give you $150, K-Fed.
He jumps on that.
First load of laundry, K-Fed's done in 10 years.
All quarters, K-Fed. We're giving you... Got 6 quarters with your name on it.
As long as you exploit your kids.
You can separate colors and whites. You know, you can do your sheets and towels one load, your colors
wash
one load.
All 45 of your white tank tops.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
We got 30 minutes left. Shall we move to Mexican food now?
We're gonna move on to Mexican food. Brandon, you're welcome to stay along. If you'd like, we could have you sign off here. We're gonna move on to Mexican food talk. Quite the transition here.
Thank you so much for the lore.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
anytime
thank you so much.
Anytime you want to talk Britney, I have a ton to say, and I really recommend if you want to just like really know Britney as an artist, listen to In the Zone. That album from start to finish, crazy good. And I will now go rejoin the audience.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Bro. Everybody give it up for Brandon. Everybody in chat. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Anytime.
Woo. Alrighty. Here we go. All right.
Ooh. Take the headphones off now.
Yes, sir.
Well,
everybody showing Brandon love. You love to see it. What a legend, dude. So awesome.
Well,
where do you want to start? You want to start with the Mexican food, or you want to just start about how freaking
I want you to talk about your day yesterday.
Okay. I had the most annoying day yesterday. Encore Madrone said he wants to bring Brandon back. I had the most annoying day yesterday, and I'm not going to say it was a bad day or that I didn't enjoy any of it, because I was so happy to hang out with some of my closest friends and family throughout the day. And Matt Spedley. But this was, I think, the most annoying day I've had in a long time. Maybe the most annoying day ever. From the very start. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, I was trying to give away some twin beds. I tried to put them on Facebook Marketplace for free. No one wanted to take them. I tried to donate them, but because of New York State laws, you can't donate them without having the mattresses like sanitized or some sort of procedure, and most organizations don't want to do it because it costs a lot of money, or they don't have the budget to do it, so no one can take the beds. I was trying to find someone to take these beds. I couldn't, and my friend Anthony, who was letting me store them at his home, Anthony, his family let me store them there. They're doing like some work on their house. They needed to get rid of the bed, so I needed to throw them out. I was working late Friday night trying to edit some video for YouTube. I go to bed. I got maybe 3 hours of sleep because I had to get, meet Anthony on time. Mm-hmm. Anthony, no hate at all. Anthony didn't show up. I went to Anthony's parents' house and waited for a half hour. I called him about 20 minutes, rang a couple times, and he ignored it, I think. Then I waited a little more. I called again, went straight to voicemail. I called again, it rang, and he woke up. He hadn't... he woke up when I called him, so he's like, that was like 35, 40 minutes after we were supposed to meet. So I'd only gotten a couple hours of sleep. Whatever. We got rid of the beds. We did that. we ended up throwing out a bunch of stuff. One thing leads to another, and a lot of the day is gone, and then it's like, okay, I got some more stuff to do. Maybe I should take a nap. But then by the time I got home, I was like, there's no real time to do any of that. I had to meet up with you guys. So we were going to go to this Mexican restaurant. And if you guys remember from a couple episodes ago, the one food that I cannot stomach is sour cream. And I forgot. I ordered a burrito, and they're the wet burritos. They're the ones that, you eat with a fork and knife, I guess, whatever. So everything's just on top of them. I forgot to say no sour cream, which is super frustrating. But at that point, he's like, what's the best thing you can do? I just accepted it, and I was like, I'll just scrape it off. This was not just a dollop of sour cream.
But that's probably what you were expecting, sour cream on the side, right?
I was expecting sour cream on the side. And I was like, even if it's on top, it's going to be, guac, sour cream, maybe there's salsa around it, or pico,
but
whatever.
Glazed the whole
thing.
They
glazed the whole thing in sour cream. It was like they grabbed it with tongs, dunked it in sour cream, and then they put everything else on top of that and mixed it all up. So I had to scrape everything off. I'm like, you know how old-fashioned barbers had that straight razor? I'm like that with a butter knife, getting rid of everything. And I have. So that was super annoying. I was so excited.
Did you like it at all?
The burrito was nice, but there was a little bit of that after. You know what I mean? I was so excited to have it. It was like an al pastor burrito. It had some pineapple. It was really good.
You didn't want it to taste too good. That's why you took the sour cream off.
Yes, exactly. Dude, how do we feel in general about putting all the condiments on like that? Because
I supported it.
I think it's well. Okay, you support it. Why do you support it?
Because I don't think it's up to me to make it. It should already be made. I don't want it on the side and have to work and sprinkle it all over.
But I feel like I understand what they're doing, but not everybody likes every single condiment. I personally do like it all mixed together, and it says it on the menu that that's what it comes with, whatever. In a vacuum, I like mixing things together like that, but not when it's something that I fucking don't like. You know what I mean? So to go to the one place in the world that doesn't do that, it's just annoying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
that's what I'm saying, is that the describer I want to use is annoying, not bad or malicious or whatever. Madrogo said that's how the wet ones are. God asked for no cream. Well, no, because we've gotten wet ones from White Plains and they do it the other way. I think it was a misunderstanding. That's specifically how those ones are usually. No, not necessarily. No, that's not it.
Cook his ass.
It's not it, because and it's White Plains had the misunderstanding. Dude, well, it's not like I saw it and I said, oh, there's sour cream on it. They're just going to put it in one area. I'll scrape it off. No, I just forgot to say no sour cream. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just another annoyance added to the day. And the toppings a la carte in a little plastic ramekins is annoying.
I agree with that.
Sure. I just don't like sour cream, guys. I don't like, it's like, I agree. In my head, I'm like, I really love leaning into, spreading it all over, because it didn't seem like a, what do you call it? Just like a stunt thing. They weren't making a stunt food out of it. They were really just getting the flavor all over it. So if that's something you like, you would have really liked it. Right?
I did really like mine.
But I don't like it. Miss Rune is out of his gourd, actually. Madrone, pick which god you're going to worship, Madrone. As Madrone said something to me yesterday. He said, they don't give you French fries with ketchup all over them at McDonald's.
But if you order a cheeseburger, they don't come with little plastic things of onions, tomatoes, and lettuce.
That's in a sandwich. It's not like... That's like if they put the sour cream in the burrito instead of on top of the burrito. Dylan
just said the same thing. He hated ketchup and mustard as a kid. Every time he'd get a fast food burger, it was the same day. Well, why don't you just say without ketchup?
Just say with no ketchup and mustard.
I can understand Sabato's pickle, that this was the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
But Dylan, why'd you keep eating it if you don't like it? Just say you don't want it.
Call me on Discord. I can clear up my stance, Madrogo said. Okay, you want to come in? I really blame this restaurant. Okay, we're just going to call you. I'm not even going to say which restaurant you mean. We'll call you.
Okay.
Madrone, do you want voice or no? Or do you want video or no video?
Two guests in one episode is kind of sick.
Sorry, Madrone.
Am I in this too?
Yeah, I'll add you to it. Voice. Okay. No, yeah, I would have to say plain every single time was annoying. No, that's not annoying,
That's not
Dylan.
annoying.
That's not annoying. Everybody, ketchup and mustard are good. Most people. It's a burger. You want people to say ketchup and mustard? I'm gonna try to find. Sorry, I'm just trying to find one that already has. Here it is. This is 3 of us already. All right. Ringing.
Hey.
Hey, Madrone. 1 second. Nick's got to mute. Sorry. Okay. I think you're good to go, Madrone. Welcome. Everybody, give it up for Madrone in chat. Thank you very much for coming on, Madrone.
Just a second, I gotta give it up for Madrone in chat. There we go. Yeah, let me compose myself for a second. I'm just eating some spicy chicken, and my nose is running and sweating and stuff.
You should have some sour cream.
Okay, here's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm mostly totally behind what Sabato was saying. When you have toppings, like the ketchup thing, you don't order fries and have them, they don't come smothered in ketchup. That's insane. It's a topping. Not everyone likes it.
Yeah.
My thing is when you...
Thing.
He's still talking.
No, I'm still talking.
All right.
What are you...
Look at this guy. All right. But my thing is specifically, I think this restaurant has misinterpreted these wet burritos. When you order the burrito mojado
which one were you thinking? The White Plains restaurant? When you say this restaurant,
whatever one you went to that didn't have it
not the one
smothered in all the toppings,
okay, not the
by
annoying
default.
one.
Yeah. So I think by default, like, this is when you order this dish, that's what it is. Is it smothered in all this shit? And you got to know that going in, because otherwise you get something you don't want. And it's fine to ask for it on the side, or like you don't want all of them because it's a bunch of shit on it. I think that's in general. All the place I've seen it, you order the wet burrito, it comes with all this shit on top of it, super, just like a Krispy Kreme donut. I think if any place sold you one without that on the side by default, that was bad. If they wanted to, if they were scared of selling something to people that they wouldn't like because it had all these toppings, they should have just made it clear in the menu, because that's the default for this dish. It has shit all over it.
Yes, for sure. And like I was saying, I think it's a good way to serve it if you like all those things, which on the menu it says it comes with. It's just, for me in particular, that was like, you know what I mean? They say that
you're not shooting out blame. You're just annoyed.
I'm just annoyed. It's like
I'm shooting out blame.
Okay. It's like, sorry, what am I trying to say? When people say that luck is a skill too, you know what I mean? You're supposed to you're supposed to like set yourself up that even if there's even like a 1% chance of something going your way, then that's what you play toward. You know what I mean? So after I realized, oh my God, I forgot to say no sour cream, all my eggs were in the basket that they were either going to come on the side or in one little section. And when that didn't happen, it was like, okay, I'm SOL. And that was just a big annoyance.
I feel you. Was that the last annoying thing of the night?
It was not the last annoying thing of the night. Madrone, do you want to stay on?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sweet. Dylan says, what about burgers? He's just joking. Madrone just said it was the restaurant's fault, but said the default dish, so they were right to cover it.
So burgers. No, I think burgers.
Dylan's just being a jerk about what he said. Like, he doesn't like things that are universally loved on a hamburger.
Dylan was just an idiot eating mustard burgers for years, even though we hated them.
Yeah. Forget the burger, it's Dylan said.
He knows he's in the wrong already. He doesn't want to get into
exactly,
it.
Correct.
I'm blaming the restaurant, Dylan. I said it.
He's blaming the restaurant that
this guy
didn't smother them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm blaming the restaurant that didn't smother them. I think they misrepresented the dish.
Set a poor precedent in Sabato's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gave me hope when none existed. Or there was such a low percent. But, like I said, I never give up. I was like, this could still turn out good. And all in all, the thing was very delicious, but it wasn't as. It just put it bad.
Before we move on
the whole night
to the rest of your annoying day,
yeah,
can we talk about the chip equation I was talking about before?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah,
So
because we're at Mexican restaurants, they bring the chips and salsa.
Mexican restaurants, they give you free chips and salsa right off the bat. Do you think what that brings in is greater than what they lose in nacho sales? Because a lot of times I go into a Mexican restaurant craving nachos, but then I just eat chips and salsa that they give me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm not going to pay like $14 just for what I'm eating plus a few extra things. You know what I mean? You already gave me chips.
It discourages you from
it's
getting
not like
appetizer.
bread in American restaurants where you're like, well, I've had bread, I'm not going to get an appetizer now. It's just bread. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
I think it works because
it's just Mexican hospitality, or have they ran the numbers on the chips and this is the optimal play?
The money that they lose on not
because they're losing nachos.
I have a theory here.
I can anecdotally prove that.
I think it started out with Mexican hospitality, and then some restaurants are like, why are we doing this? They ran the numbers, and it works out perfectly. Because, take, for example, Nick. He thinks he's getting the better of this restaurant. Yeah. He's going to go back. He's like, I could get as many... Well, anytime you're picking this restaurant over a different one, they're winning.
Yes. Salty chips make you order drinks, too, Brandon says.
Yeah, but water's
Good
free.
Point. But... You're getting.
You're gonna get a burrito.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Which are also salty.
Okay, so do you think if this restaurant pulled the rug out and stopped giving chips, they would lose a bunch of customers?
I think it would be burnt to the ground.
I think it. Yes.
No one would go there. They'd be pissed.
What if they all?
Agrees.
What if they all agreed to stop doing that? Like every Mexican restaurant, would people stop eating Mexican?
I don't know if you could. I think they would be. I don't think. How do you get it to them all to
agree? It'd be impossible. It's
like
too hard.
All the Mexican restaurant leaders are just like, this is not worth it. Let's all agree to stop doing this.
Well, it's not that it's not worth it. It's that if they all stop doing it, then they all get even more money.
Or would people just stop eating Mexican? Like, is that a big sell, do you think? When I go to, like, Outback, I'm surprised by the bread. I don't go in there going, I'm going to get bread.
Yeah.
It's like they just bring the bread. I'm like, oh, nice.
Bread. Yeah.
But do you think in Mexican restaurants, showing up to a plate of chips is like, this is why I came?
I think you'd get pissed off if they didn't have it.
Yeah, it's like, it's not why you go, but it's expected.
Do you think they're in too deep?
Dylan said, I don't think...
I don't think they can be in too deep. I think it's working. I think they're making money on the chips.
Yes, it's something that it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, maybe? Is that what you're saying?
But this is interesting what Brandon said. Mexican restaurants make their own chips for very, very cheap, so they don't take a huge loss.
Yeah.
So then, wouldn't you say they should they push their nachos? But I think they're missing out on nacho sales because people are already filled up on chips before they order.
Well, I think that selling the nachos is less of a push for them because the nachos cost more to make.
Okay.
You know I don't think nachos are this big ticket item that Nick seems to think they are. I don't think everyone's going to get nachos.
He's saying that in a like, this is an appetizer, like most popular appetizer or something. But like we're saying, like they cost the restaurant more money to make. Like Brandon's saying is that the restaurants are making the chips for dirt cheap. Them making an appetizer and selling it is not as important as them making like maybe like a soda and selling it. You know what I mean? Where the profit is like a jillion %. You know what I mean? It's just syrup and water, and it's like, or like margaritas or whatever. I don't know. But it's the same thing with like pizzerias. You know what I mean?
But you don't believe in the good spirit of Mexican people? That they're just
they're bad people.
Spit it like that, you jerk.
That it's all profit incentivized?
It is all profit.
They're not doing this for their health. Yeah, they are, but they have no choice. Also, John said that he knows... John is Brandon's partner. John said that he knows Mexican restaurants make their chips and salsa to use up expiring tortillas and tomatoes.
Okay.
You see?
It's all coming together now.
Yes.
Like, they got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. Thank you.
It's so like you go to... Like, this is coming out of nowhere because I've never been to one of these places, but I'd say it's like going to a Red Lobster and they gave you a free bowl of like rotten lobster, and you were like, "Am I getting the better of them? I'm eating all this rotten lobster.
They're soon to
It's
expire.
rotten,
They're
dude."
not already expired.
They put it back in the grill. It's a little toasty. It was rotten. They put it back in. It's not anymore.
I'm so late.
Cece, what's up?
Welcome. We're getting to chips and salsa, and annoying days. Wings places always do their wing deals on expiration day.
That's fine. They go in a deep fryer. It's fine.
Yeah. You love chips.
I'm not saying
you're
okay.
right. You're right where you should be, Cecilia.
I think chips and salsa. Forget nachos.
Brandon
Incentivizes
really wants nachos.
skipping an appetizer more than a loaf of bread does.
I agree. Yes, because the chips and what the chips and salsa are giving you is an elevated flavor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like the salsa can vary between the restaurants too. It's not something you're getting every single time, as opposed to you're getting bread and butter. But I want to also add, like we're saying, the standard bread and butter is not breaking any records, right? So you're kind of like, I could get an appetizer and have a more unique flavor.
Right.
But there are also restaurants that are putting out different kinds of bread. You know what I mean? Maybe they bring out like a sampler of bread, and then like the Texas Roadhouse does that thing with like the cinnamon bread with like the cinnamon butter or whatever it is, the hot rolls.
I would put Texas Roadhouse in a different category.
It's different. That's what I say. Maybe the bread people are
Yeah.
catching on to the nachos thing.
Standard
I think the
bread,
issue
like Italian
is-
places, it's like that's just a placeholder because you're hungry.
Yes.
You're hungry as soon as you get it, so they're like,
Yeah.
have some fucking bread.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that Nick is just very racist. And he sees all these other restaurants having a free kind of appetizer substitute, and he's thinking, "Oh, Italians or this, Red Lobster,
I'm
these
actually-
white people, they're smart. I trust their financial decisions." The Mexicans do the same thing,
No.
and you're like, "These fucking idiots!
I'm
They're losing
robbing
out on the
Mexican
nacho
restaurants.
sales."
I'm trying to move the money from the Italians to the Mexicans, and you're calling me racist. It makes no sense.
You're just like the lovable oafs. Are they doing this out of the goodness of their heart? They never made a deal.
Sorry, I believe in their good spirit.
Madrone spitting CC said. Dylan says grocery stores should just make nachos with all the food they throw out.
Yeah.
Like everything. Yeah. No, chips and salsa don't fill Cecilia. Bread 100% will. So you're saying the bread is more filling,
So
too.
she's reversing it.
Little
She's
crunchies
saying,
will make me hungrier.
so Cecilia, you think bread is more likely to make you not get an appetizer? I don't buy that for a second. I'm sorry.
I think she has faith in the Chicano intellect in a way that Nick does not.
Dylan said Indians have it down. You pay for the naan. So you're saying that in an Indian restaurant they're charging you for the bread itself is an appetizer on the menu.
So they're so confident in their food. They're like, you're gonna pay for everything. And you're gonna like it.
I'm eating Indian food right now, and I did pay for the naan.
Yeah.
God. Speaking
Dylan
of
said they're
racism,
right because I do.
you know this racist stereotype that like Mexican food makes you shit. It's like every food makes you shit. That's the point of food.
That's the point of food. It is inherent in all
You don't
things.
eat a burger and then it like photosynthesizes or whatever.
People are
Shit
going in
everything.
there. They're taking. People are going in. They're taking the chips for granted. They're ordering nachos, which they shouldn't. They just had the chips. They eat a shitload of cheese, and then they're like, they had no fiber that day. They have a bad shit, and they're like, "Oh, it's this fucking place,
Yeah.
not my actions."
It's all situation. Yeah, it's all coincidental. Brandon says Mexican food just makes you shit hot.
Which I like. It feels more rewarding.
Yeah,
It's more rewarding.
you finished like a tougher task.
Yeah.
Cecilia says if she gets chips and salsa, she's definitely ordering nachos as an appetizer.
You think
fool!
chips and salsa helps the nacho sales? That's preposterous. That's chip overkill.
It's bean based, which has fiber. Dylan, are you saying nachos or Mexican food in general? Americans just eat potato corn, Dylan says.
Okay, but what's this idea that you eat Mexican food and then you're shitting before you even get up off the table? Like,
no, yeah, that's
just
crazy.
boomer
It's
racism.
ridiculous.
So
Yeah.
I think you're going out just to eat chips, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have a taste palate. You like
No,
chips. That's fine.
She wants that's the exact opposite. She wants to diversify her chip experience. She wants chips just salsa. She wants chips just dipped in the bean. She wants dips with the everything on it. Like MSG stereotype for Asian food. You mean like at Madison Square Garden, Dill? Sorry, guys. Brandon says, but the real reason is alcohol sales. That's why restaurant gives you freebies. That's what I was kind of getting around to. You said it earlier, Brandon, and I was saying it too. Like, they have so many other things that are more profitable to push that that freebie acts as a there's a direct relationship
But I don't
to
think
incentivize.
when my mouth is all salted up, I want alcohol. I want water.
They want you to think you got away with something while pumping you full of salt. It's smart. What?
I feel you're not breaking any new ground here. Like, I feel like this is a really drawn out conversation about like, oh, they got me in the door with this free sample. Like, what are you talking about? This isn't new.
No, but I don't think it incentivizes alcohol. I think it honestly
It incentivizes any kind of drink.
I will die on the
Yeah.
hill. This is the good spirit of the Mexican people. I don't think there's a profit incentive.
That's why they've won against you. you're a victim, number one. Yeah. MSG is safe. Do you mean the arena? The world's most famous arena?
I think it's a little dangerous in there.
60% chips, 40% real entree. When I'm drunk, I need chips. This is all CC. They just want everyone to have a good time, man. Which is cool. I think it's it's not that it's not that they're mean-spirited. It's a symbiotic relationship. They're doing their part. They're doing
is the inverse of what Madrone's saying. Because she said, when I'm drunk, I need chips. When everyone else has been saying, when I have chips, I need drunk. It doesn't compute. There's no consensus, and everyone's mad at me for thinking Mexicans are good people.
You're the only one that's wrong, because they're not.
It's a chat full of contradictions.
We're not saying chips equal drunk. We're saying chips equal drink. Any kind of drink.
Water.
Yeah, okay, you can drink water, but
You're not going into a Mexican place just seeing water like a sociopath.
To drink yesterday?
I got a margarita,
Okay.
but that's because we were hanging out.
Yeah, okay.
You're getting a burritos, you're getting a margarita, you're getting a little horchata for dessert.
So I got a drink. Because I want to have fun with Sabata.
I'm a freebie. Chips equal a fun conversation starter similar to drinking. Well, okay. I think, it's like, I mean, like Madrone's saying, it's not rocket science either. It's like every bar, or I don't know if they can't do it anymore, but every bar, the pretzels, the nuts, the pretzels, whatever, at a bar, it's the same thing.
I will say, chips, if you go to a Mexican restaurant with a gringo, they're always just so amazed by the salsa. They're like, this is real. They're so used to like a jar at the grocery store. They're always talking about how real the salsa tastes. They must use real ingredients.
Real ingredients, better salsa.
Yeah.
Papa Juan. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Dylan says meals are an event in other cultures with courses and time to eat and shit.
Well, Dylan's meals are an event. Yeah.
No. Cooking a meal is an event in Dylan. All right. Americans eat in 2 seconds in front of a toilet. That is true. That people need to slow down. I agree, because it's like some people talk about dinner while they're eating lunch.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. And then I just Brandon just died. All right, the rest of the annoying day.
Yes.
Let's hit this. The annoyances didn't stop there. I told you we went out to this Mexican restaurant. Then afterward, we wanted to go to a bar. By the time we got to this bar, the bar had changed their hours or something. They were closing earlier that night, and they were closed. So the bartender, the people that worked there were nice enough to say, hey, if you guys want one beer or something, you could come in. I instinctively said no, and I'll say I wasn't so like what's the word? Not assertive, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think I turned the crowd. I think I said we should go in.
I don't think you turned any. I don't think there was a turning in a crowd. I think. Whatever. I think you turned him the wrong way, but I was not turned. I was like, no, this is not a good idea, and I was outvoted because it was you, Ethan, and Matt were like, yes, let's go in. Me and Anthony said no. Mm-hmm. So 3 against 2. It's like, all right, I guess people are hanging out. It's not too much of an inconvenience, but it's got to be one of the worst bar experiences of my life. I'll say, because the whole point is we didn't want to stay at home drinking in a living room. You know what I mean? We wanted to go out to a bar. We wanted to be social. We wanted people around. We play some games, whatever. Now you've gone to a warehouse, effectively, an empty room. There's not a soul in there. The people working there want you to finish up quick and leave. You're sitting in a chair that's less comfortable than a couch or a recliner or anything you got, and you can't change the TV. You have no control of the TV. It's just a worse experience than not going out at all. Why the hell did we waste our time getting in there? And I don't think it hit me. I think I had a snap judgment not to go in. And then when I was looking at my reasoning in the moment, I was like, well, we don't want to disturb these people. But also, I was like, I feel like I had this cry like, this is going to suck. Why are we doing this? And it wasn't as strong as it should have been. I should have fought back more in that moment.
The whole point was to fraternize. And then it was just us talking to each other.
Exactly. There was nothing added to the night.
But this
is so sad. I know, CC. We're talking about the most annoying day ever. It's like, and another part of that has to do with all the annoyances of my day wearing me down to that point, where it was just like another one. I was like, damn. It just keeps
You wanted a good burrito and a good time at the bar. You got neither.
I got nothing.
I agree completely, Sabato.
I think we should just stay in.
What?
I always want to just stay in.
I know you always want to stay in. That's why you said yes. And I don't think you thought about it that much either, but your instinct was telling you this is going to be great for me.
This is going to be like a living room.
Yes. And it was like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard that Patrice O'Neal joke where he's talking about how, he's trying to, his partner is doing all these things that lessen his enjoyment of an experience. He's like, open the blinds. It's like, now there's a glare on the TV. They're turning the fan or the AC off because it's too cold. Now it's too hot. And it's like, ain't that better? Ain't that better? It's like, now you're in an empty room. Can't control the TV. Chair hurts your butt. Feet don't touch the ground because you're on this stool. It's like, ain't that better, Bato?
You're inconveniencing workers.
Yeah, inconveniencing everybody around you. The vibe is just so off. Now we got to all go out for a burrito and bar.
I think for closure, I think you need to put up the names. There's been a lot of hate towards Nick during this, and I think he totally deserves it. But you need to put up the names of everyone who did this to you.
Yes,
so they can find justice.
Nick, Ethan, Matt.
All I do is exist. Look at what Brandon said.
Oh, Brandon said, "Come drink and watch The Office at my place next weekend. You want to drink, guys?" Much more fun than bothering service industry workers when they're trying to close, which Nick was all for. All for. I tried to tell him no. I just work with the guy. I just do this. I'm not this outside of it. It's a very organic relationship. We connected. This works. That's it.
We'll say she was persuading us to come in. We did not. We were not pushy. She was like really eager to, and I think it's because she thought I was cute. She wanted me in. So I obliged like a gentleman.
I think that the vibe of that place is it's a small, it's a small, little brewery. That the person that works there and her husband, the person that was convincing us and her husband, own it and, started the whole brewery. And they were, having fun with the people that work there. And to them, I think it's just more of the social aspect that's the whole reason they did it. So I don't think it was a big inconvenience.
They weren't trying to leave either.
They were trying to leave. And I mean, they're making money while having fun.
Yeah.
So.
And she thought I was cute.
Bottom line. So it's just been, yes, because online reviews have absolutely wrecked service workers' brains. Wait, what do you mean, Cecilia?
She's saying they were afraid to say no. This is crazy. I did nothing wrong.
Nick took advantage. He used a power dynamic
no, I did not.
Of an online reviewer.
I had my phone up on Yelp like this.
Yeah,
you sure?
You want me to hit 1 star? You want me to hit it? Okay. All right. It's your funeral, buddy.
She actually gave me 2 drinks. That's how
You paid
she
for
wanted.
2 drinks.
Yeah, that's true.
She gave you 2 drinks.
She gave me what I paid for.
Okay.
Was she
also,
into me?
I want to know how you felt. I just want to say something because I feel like we've talked, and last episode we were talking about how we were watching your drinking at the wedding, right?
Yes.
We were watching your drinking at the wedding, and how did you feel after that? Do you feel that you drank enough, or I feel like you felt like you could have drank more?
I wanted to drink a lot.
You wanted to drink a lot more, but everyone around you was like, Nick is at the perfect level. This is awesome. Whatever.
Disagree.
I know you disagree, but last night when you were, when I'm gonna just pull this up real quick.
I disagree with whatever you want to say. I know.
Sorry. I'm gonna pull something out. I'm gonna pull something up for you guys before I say it. Last night, Nick was sort of left to his own devices, and you drank as much as you want, right?
Uh-huh.
Now,
okay, no. Last night...
Okay. I want to just pull this up. Here we go. We're switching the scene. Self-control king, Cecilia said. I want to pull up this tweet.
Okay.
Last night you tweeted, I think I'm dying. At 12:56 a.m. This is an hour after you left the bar that we wandered to after the closed bar. You left that bar early, leaving your vehicle... Like the whole plan was to take an Uber back to Anthony's and sleep over where your car was. You left your car at Anthony's last night, and you just went home early from the bar because you felt sick and tired, whatever.
No, I will explain.
Okay, well, I'm just setting the scene. So we're at this bar that just was closed to begin with. We wandered to another bar. Nick, you hung out for a little while there, but then you were like, I gotta go. I'm exhausted. And I also think that you did relieve yourself...
I didn't.
Vomit-wise in the bathroom.
I did not.
People may have heard.
People lied on
noises.
my name.
People lied on his name. People may have heard vomiting, purging in the bathroom, but no, it wasn't Nick. I saw you walk into the bathroom and check if other people were there before you got into.
I didn't throw up last night.
That was the last tweet I saw last night before I closed the app and went to sleep. Cecilia said, "You said." I think I'm dying. This is where you end up when you're left to your own devices. I think I'm dying. So, tell us how you felt last night. Tell us your whole story.
Let me explain. I think the way I felt had very little to do with my drunk level. Because there was no AC in that goddamn bar. It was like 90 fucking degrees last night. I got 2.5 hours of sleep the night before. And then I had to walk home on a blistering hot summer night. So I got into my apartment.
Well, you walked home because you already didn't feel good enough to be out.
Okay, I didn't think I was dying, though. When I got home, I ripped, all my clothes off. I just sat there like a sweaty pig, waiting for the AC to,
I thought you were going to say you ripped all the sheets and pillows in your house into one bed.
I was waiting for the AC to restore my homeostasis. And that's when I tweeted, I think I'm dying.
Okay,
I was like,
but how did you get there? That's all I'm saying. You don't think the
I wasn't like I was
drinking...
like gagging or anything. I was
no, you had already thrown up at the bar to relieve yourself of that.
I hadn't thrown up. This is maddening. Anthony makes up noises in his head. It speaks on
Were
my
you
name.
drinking water, Brandon asks? No.
Yes.
I didn't see
had
you
two
drink a
glasses of water. I did.
At the Mexican restaurant.
No, at the bar.
I didn't see it. I will say that...
all the responsible stuff I did, he didn't see. He's Ray Charles to the responsible stuff.
Because it didn't happen. You didn't do any of it. You have to stay hydrated when it's hot as F, consuming any alcohol. Correct, Brandon.
I would also argue not throwing up, not drinking and driving, being in bed at 1 a.m. is responsible.
Yes, when you've hurt your body so much to the point that you're a danger to the rest of the people around you.
No, that's not...
Yes, you should remove yourself from the situation.
I was tired. I was not overly drunk. I was tired. I'll die on that hill.
You felt last night like you should have drank more. Is that what you're saying also?
Last night, I wish I was capable of drinking more. I don't think I was...
You wanted to, but it was hot. Everything external kept you from...
Because if you were capable of drinking more, you wouldn't have thrown out.
Like when we've gone...
Two very different narratives, Brandon said. That's the thing. Nick is spinning it, so that...
No. I would say, like, when I'm bad is, like, when we were at that barcade and that guy moved the chair, and I was saying, like, I'm going to kill this guy. That was irresponsible.
Yeah.
I wasn't anywhere close to that last night.
Yes, but the point is that you dip early. You're still not lasting the whole night. You know what I mean? You're not putting
that was a sleep
You're not
issue.
putting yourself in a position where you.
That was a sleep issue. That was not an alcohol issue.
Well, I had the same sleep as I did. I had a much more annoying day, and I lasted. Am I just stronger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You had an extra wind because you were so...
my birthday. No, Cecilia, different day. Sorry. Theme of death is when Nick is drunk. Either him or someone else is dying. Yeah, we were at a barcade and... do you want to just...
No, I don't want to.
Okay, we don't want to get into it.
But you got
another episode. This is another episode.
You got a second win because you were so mad about your burrito that it amped you up.
Lit a fire.
The burrito brought me to peace. I was like, no matter what, this has been a good night.
This is a beautiful night.
Yeah,
you laid back.
So anyway, last night I was probably more responsible than the wedding, if you think about it.
Yes, because other people had to be responsible for you. You were doing everything in your power to be irresponsible,
yeah.
And we put the clamps on you. I will say that after 12 midnight is a big improvement on 8 p.m., which was the rehearsal day. So I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that you were more responsible than that. Bravo.
And there was a lot of lies told about last night.
Listen, and that's why I'm glad we talked about it, because I just want to say that no one policed you last night, and this ended up being said, and I don't want you to feel like this. So we just got to figure out how we got here.
Can you refresh this page?
You want me to refresh the
it?
page?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a like on it now? Finally. Madrone, you sicko.
That wasn't me.
It was Miss Rune. Miss Rune doing a little burner exchange. Oop.
It was totally unreasonable how hot that bar was last night. That was not a good time.
I agree, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list of annoyances. What a terrible night.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was annoying. It was no one's fault. I was happy to hang out with Nick and all my friends. Except for... Nope. I just... Seriously, man. Throw me a freaking bonus here, you know? Tried to bring it full circle with a Dr. Evil.
You know what just happened here is I'm just sitting back watching the stream, listening to you guys through Discord. It's nice. It's a little higher audio quality, but I'm watching the stream. It's in the past. I see you like the message, but still, when I get the notification on my phone that my message was liked, I get the little rush of dopamine. What a disgusting existence. I don't like that. But you could do it again, though.
You want me to unlike and like it? No. You just keep getting hot off of it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Speaking of hot, this freaking bedroom.
Well, I turned the AC off to better hear Brandon. It is pretty hot in here. Maybe we'll...
I feel like you should walk home.
Yeah, you feel like you should leave your car here. All right, the AC's back on. Right. I think that's a night. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
I think
let me say one last quick thing I didn't get in earlier. This is for the listeners at home on Spotify, not the viewers. I don't agree with their lifestyle. The viewers on Spotify, that is. On Twitch, it's fine. But earlier when Nick was talking about, he's making the joke about holding up the Yelp review to the waitress or whoever was working at the bar.
Yeah.
He held up his hand to like the side of the computer monitor and not up to the camera.
Yeah, he went
I think that's a good visual gag that I just wanted to come across for the listeners.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for picking that up, Madrone.
Cool. Could have been something no one noticed or acknowledged. Good thing you brought it.
Well, speaking of things, do we want to get back to the golden ticket thing, or we want to just leave that where it lay?
Okay, yeah.
The golden ticket
explain
from last week.
Okay, yeah.
What is like the cinema sins of NickyBato? If cinema sins wasn't cringe, these are legit.
We were talking about the Magic the Gathering cards where there's like a Lord of the Rings set. And there's one special card that's only one of them, so people are buying all these cards to get it. They're comparing it to the golden ticket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Good comparison until well, not until, but anyway, Nick says that's it's a sad comparison because if he was saying that if Charlie and the Chocolate Factory happened today, people would be scalping the chocolate bars because the sealed chocolate bars value is up because of the ticket. That's what happens in every. That's what happens in that story. That's what they do
in every telling of that story. That is what happens.
Yeah, the whole thing is Charlie will never be able to get one because his family's poor. One of the kids that's there, their parents are the distributors of the chocolate bars. They're just opening up every chocolate bar and then repackaging them to sell. Nick's like, wouldn't that be sad? It would be such a different story today. And Charlie only got it in the end because somebody faked the last ticket. So the price of the bars went back down.
Oh my
God. That's all.
What a total deconstruction.
Sorry, I'm not well versed in Roald Dahl.
You just hate Johnny Depp. Nick thought he had
I don't
something
think
dry. It's so real.
I was gonna say I don't think the new movie really emphasized that enough, but I think they did. I think I just missed it.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the right word. Totally. Deconstruct is the closest word I can think. I'm trying to think of another word. Your argument is just
Collapse.
It's just like your whole stance. Everything's undermined, debunked. Maybe that's
that would be crazy, Dylan.
Debunked.
The Timothy Chalamet one, they don't have that part.
Yes, yeah.
And then it just validates everything Nick said.
No, it would invalidate it because Nick's whole stance is if they did it now, it would be a part of it.
Also,
and then they wouldn't have
my stance,
you're right. There's no way to win.
My stance makes a big, we live in a society type point that everyone was nicer before the 60s and stuff was never scalped or anything. And this is something people have always done.
They used to just sell stuff they used to sell houses for $10,000 and that's it.
Rethink my entire societal cynicism.
If you tweeted your take, it would have went viral, Dylan says. That's how dumb people are. Well, thank you, Madrone. Everybody in chat, give it up for Madrone. Everybody give it up for Madrone. Thank you so much, dude.
Fuck you, man.
All right, I'm out.
Alright, yeah, Madrone's clap. Give him a self-clap. Yeah, Madrone! Woo! Cecilia says, everyone's always been terrible. And it's so true. But let's see, let's not become too cynical. There's good in everybody.
Except Madrone.
Except Madrone. That's my burner, Mr. Go, Madrone. Mine too. Now Madrone is mimicking the text patterns.
We gotta go. We gotta get the fucking AC on.
We gotta get the AC on. Like Cecilia said earlier, we have to become AC kings. And that's our goal right now. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Another beautiful episode. Thank you to Madrone. And thank you to Brandon. Immense thank you. You guys are legends.
Shoot us a message if you want to hop on next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that we have the tech.
Maybe we'll make it a channel reward, too. Yeah, I'm still going to get the audio.
We found one old pair of headphones. We're
life hack, stream hack. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you, Madrone and Brandon, for coming on. Thank you to everybody who showed up to chat tonight. You guys are carrying it. You're legends, dude. Don't forget, every week, last week's episode comes out on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. We got a ton of other, content edited down from the streams in there that you might like. And we're cooking. We're cooking, and we're not going to stop.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, thank you, everybody, so much. We love you, love you, love you, love you. All right.
Peace.
All right, we got to get the AC on now. All right. Take it easy, guys.